Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
In order to enable all of us to enjoy our holidays, a token has been sent to our various accounts by the clerk of the National Assembly. I will not. I withdraw that statement. In order to allow you to enjoy your holiday, the Senate President has sent prayers to your mailboxes. To assist you to go on a safe journey and return. This Senate.
I have nothing new to say.
People are hungry.
Let them die. It's their fault. Yeah, I'm supporting Tinubu 100%.
You're supporting Tinubu?
100% to deal with Nigerians.
Jeez.
People like you. So that when next election comes, I will now see whether when people bring money, you will vote for them or you will do your conscience.
Of the United States and other partners, we believe that a turning point has been reached.
2 months ago in this very room, we signed a Declaration of Principles, a first tangible step to break with deadlock and chart a path towards peace. Today, that choice takes shape and sustained efforts have come to fruition. With this peace agreement, we open a new chapter.
And
the agreement raises hopes for an end to around 3 decades of conflict, with both sides committing to ending support for armed groups and disarming them. The security aspects aiming at ending the violence, it is hoped, will lay the way for economic cooperation which could bring billions of dollars of investment to the Great Lakes region, which is rich in minerals. The US President Donald Trump wants access to them.
With Rwanda and the Congo.
He has trumpeted the diplomacy that led to the deal and complained that he has not received a Nobel Peace Prize. And that subject came up as he met the 2 delegations in the Oval Office.
Thinking to nominate you as a Nobel Prize Peace because he said you deserve, you have been working to bring peace.
Today, the violence and destruction comes to an end, and the entire region begins a new chapter of hope and opportunity, harmony, prosperity, and peace.
One of the major questions now is whether the agreement and other efforts parallel to it will steer the way to that. Analysts agree the deal is significant, but don't believe it will quickly end the fighting that has killed and displaced millions of people.
To all of you, Alex was my very good neighbor and went to the same school with me in Chicago. Never did we dream that I would be in this position as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Alex will be a successful businessman from Belarus to bring about a very successful collaboration and bilateral relationship that will promote economic prosperity and future of our two countries. Alex, thank you very much for everything. I believe our university will be very, very proud that we are doing this here today. The doing well because Ebola Tinubu is doing well too. Those who have triggered the alley politics and the perdition of coalition suddenly just don't pay them any attention. They are the political IDPs. Don't give them a home. The hope is here. Sule is doing well. We will support whatever a Governor Sule brings about to work harder for the prosperity and renaissance of Nasarawa State. That's what we stand for. I'm not geared for what they try to pull on me, only political campaign. But who is a politician who will keep quiet when the gangsterism are forming a coalition to unseat themselves?
The interests, the will of Rivers people, but it will benefit two of them. Tell you, the mistake Fubara have done. Peace is good. We wanted peace in Rivers State. We all agitated for peace. That was why we were speaking out against the injustice that took place. But we will believe in a peace that will carry everybody along, not one section of people. Look at every faces you are showing here. Tell me who is supporting Fubara in the midst of this gathering. It's just him alone. He did not even go for this meeting with his deputy governor. Does that not show you himself is a greedy person? Where is your deputy governor? Where are your commissioners in all of this? Where are the leaders and stakeholders who stood by you? Where are the Asare Dokubos who stood by you, who fought for you? Where are the Peter Otilis, the Secondus? Where are they? The Abieseki boss, the Austin Oparas. These are leaders of Rivers. These are people who fought Wike standstill in Rivers. But when their crisis started, they did not go, from our own investigation and information, they did not go to Sim to support him. Sim went to this group of persons to say, please come and support me. But today, when he was negotiating his peace deal, Sim never consulted anybody within his political family, within his political group, within the people of Rivers State. So that is why he went alone. But look at Wike. Wike went there with his lawmakers. He went there with leaders from his group. So which means Wike took everybody along.
As unlawful and illegal. The court from Kenya to Nigeria in June for June the 27th, 2025. We begin in Nairobi, where a high court has declared the detention and transfer of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021 as unlawful and illegal. The court also awarded compensatory damages of 10 million Kenyan shillings against the Kenyan government for gross violations of Kanu's fundamental rights. Meanwhile, the end is now in sight over the political crisis in Rivers as the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, says he and the suspended governor of the state, Wike-Fubara, have agreed to work together. Wike spoke after a meeting with Fubara, President Bola Tinubu, and suspended members of the Rivers Assembly and said they have settled their differences.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who will be visiting to inaugurate projects executed by Governor Yahaya Bello. The government has urged the people of Kogi State to come out en masse to receive the president and display their hospitality. In this journalist hangout midweek special, Babajide Kolade Otitoju was at the state-of-the-art reference hospital, Okene, and others due to be inaugurated by the president, and files this story.
Science of protecting and improving the health of the people in their communities by detecting, preventing, and responding to infectious diseases, among others. The Bello administration in Kogi State in the last few years has underlined its determination to provide quality health care for the people of the state by renovating or building new specialist hospitals across the state, including the Prince Abubakar Audu University Teaching Hospital, Ayingba, the Specialist Hospital in Lokoja, GYB Specialist Hospital, Isolu, GYB Specialist Hospital, Egain, General Hospital, Ida, and the Specialist Hospital, Tego. However, the reference hospital in Okene ticks all the boxes. It is without a shadow of a doubt one of the legacy projects of Yahaya Bello administration, one which is meant to address the issue of medical tourism, which costs Nigerians about 664 billion every year. Okene Reference Hospital is also meant to serve as teaching hospital to the Confluence University of Science and Technology, a specialized university established just before the end of Governor Yahaya Bello's first term in office. I had heard of Okene Reference Hospital and seen beautiful pictures of it in the online media, so I decided to travel to Okene to see things for myself. Located on the site of the old Okene General Hospital, the reference hospital boasts of a giant standalone building where all its wards are located. I was met on arrival at the hospital by Engineer Kabir Suleiman, state consultant, who handled the project. He spoke about how long it took to put the project to bed, as well as some state-of-the-art equipment installed therein.
Behind us here, you can see the Okene Reference Hospital, 100% completed, fully furnished, fully equipped.
Tell us some of those things.
It has CCTV everywhere. Everywhere you are in this hospital, you are seeing somewhere. Somebody is somewhere watching everything that happens, both in and outside. Every action that happens in and outside the hospital complex. Then it has an internet facility which is meant to help the doctor to make research whilst they discharge their duty as medical doctors here.
He also described how challenging it was to work on the project and meet the governor's expectations.
It was a talk of war. You know, that is why it is good sometimes when you have people of our age supervising a project like this. You can give it
have peacefully going to court, no quarrel, no issues. We will.
All the glasses gone. All glasses.
Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me that the agency wants to see me. And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them, that some people just jumped into it and said they are the owner, that they have cut injunction, and that they are about to start demolishing it. I said, okay, you go to court. And they won't demolish it without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday evening, he called me. He said they've removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors or 2,000, they're demolishing everybody as fast as they can. And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. He said all efforts for them to enter there, they've been refused even entry. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja. We first fly this morning from Abuja, drove to this place, asked the people who authorized it to demolish. They said I've cut injunction that the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. They just gave them this. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the cut injunction and see who the owner, the person who is now claiming is sued? They gave me the cut injunction. The cut injunction explicitly said unknown person. How can you sue an unknown person and say the land belongs to you? A land with property. And within yesterday and today, you demolished the property. Look at it. They've removed the roof, they removed everything. Okay, give me your proper documentation, demolition orders, because even if you want to demolish a house, you go to the state, they give you order to demolish, give you appropriate documentation, bring safety people and them, so that we know we're doing what is. None. It's only while I'm here now that some people came and said they are from Lagos State, their safety order, and they say, what kind of a country is this? How did you descend to this level of rascality? How can you sue an unknown person, enter somebody's land and everything? I've been here for 4 hours. I've not seen one person who comes and say, I'm the owner. 3 people or 2 or 3 people have appeared. Are you the owner? No, I'm not. But I'm acting on behalf. I say, so who is the owner? No name. They've not called the name. I say, but you know my name. I'm Peter Obi. I want to know the next person so I can even approach him and say, please, this land belongs to a company that my brother is a majority shareholder. The country can't go on like this. We're looking for foreign investors. We're looking for investors. But look at how local investors are being treated. Is that how a country can thrive? This level of lawlessness, this level of rascality. So he's a senior advocate. He knows what is happening. What he's saying is a simple thing. The documents of this property is well documented and everything. And that is why it is important that the owner appears and bring his own documents for verification. All we are saying is you laying claim to something. The court case, when they sued an unknown person, a property like this cannot be owned by an unknown person, fenced. It's owned by a company. And that company, this is their lawyer. I'm only...
Sorry.
Wait, sir. Let me move the mic, sir.
Okay, sorry, where is the going? Where is it going? Okay, can we speak with you, sir?
Yes, you can.
I don't know, you say you are loyal to the...
Yes, I am. Yes, yes.
I don't know. Can you give us a perspective here? Because I don't know. We all came here and saw that.
On Friday, just this last Friday, we were called upon that some people came here to levy execution on Friday. We never knew about the pendency of any suit at all. Nothing, nobody knew. The suit was filed against persons unknown. Unknown persons was the defendant in the case. What we did was to say, let us quickly rush to the registry to see the process filed, the process they relied upon to come to this place. We now got it only to discover that they came by way of what they call originating summons. And they were even claiming possession, not title, not ownership of the property. Possession.
What's the implication of originating?
The originating summons is that it's not an issue that ought to be controversial or contested. And they were just claiming possession. Possession means they want to take over. But there was no claim for, I am the owner, that is title. It wasn't there. We made copies of all those processes and walked all through Friday. On Monday, we filed our application, which was yesterday. We filed a motion, one, for joinder. Let us be joined in the case, as parties in the case. And we attached an affidavit where we annexed copies of material documents showing that we truly own the house. We attached the deed of assignment, we attached the CO4, we attached every document to show that we genuinely own the house. We also filed a separate application seeking to set aside that order of the court, because the order was obtained without the court knowing that other persons own it. They just sued unknown persons. And I can assure you that if you go through the attached evidence of service, but I can assure if you go through, you see that what they normally do is that they go behind there now, paste the court process, snap it, remove it, and go back to the court to file as evidence that they have effected service. We attacked all those things in our application seeking to set aside that judgment. We also filed an application setting aside further execution, which is what they're doing. Staying further execution, which is what they're doing. We also have a leg on injunction pending the hearing of the suit. We also have a prayer where we are saying, my Lord, convert this case to pleadings so that everybody will file their own side of the story. And the court will take a plenary session and hear us out. That is where we are. We are about to serve, we have not served them, truly, but they are in the registry coming to serve them. But I expect that as a lawyer, if you know, like I did disclose to the man who came as their lawyer, that there is a pending application of this nature, which applications are of grievous nature. I think the proper thing to do, the circumstances, would have been to await the hearing of that application. Then let the court rule on it one way or the other. That is where I expect my colleagues to take it to and say, oh, since they have come, since, although he's entitled to say he has not been served, but I'm also entitled to assume that having spoken to him, I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria. If I tell him that this is what is going on, he can wait. He should also indulge me, because I will do that and wait. You are not running anywhere. It is the house. A house will not run. A house will not run to anywhere. Are you getting my point? Because the houses are fixed. I mean, the houses are fixed to the land. You can't carry the land down. You can't carry anything anywhere. So what you do in the circumstance would have been simply to take time, wait for the process, take it, react to it, and show that you have a superior title. And then we'll take it from there. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Wait, sir. I will get it from this guy. Oh, okay. My phone is already gone.
So we're going to court. Once you push on notice, every other thing stops. We're not in court. Clearly, so if you're non-person, you have appeared. Business Foods, they went to court against a non-person. The non-person have appeared with his documents, and he has documents to back it up. Thank you. That's what we're doing.
With internal strife within the party. The All Progressives Congress, the national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, has officially resigned from his position. Although his resignation letter was attributed to his health grounds, party sources say it has to do with internal strife within the party. Senior reporter Habida Lawal reports.
The political development was unexpected as no one had a clue, considering the fact that Abdullahi Ganduje is a core loyalist of President Bola Tinubu. However, those familiar with the gale of defection by opposition politicians into the ranks of the APC believe his resignation may not be unconnected with the need to reposition the party ahead of the 2027 general election. The resignation follows weeks of speculation about his leadership and growing dissatisfaction over the party's direction. Insiders reveal that internal divisions and disagreements over candidate selections for the forthcoming elections contributed significantly to his resignation. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was elected as the national chairman of the APC on 3rd August 2023. Prior to his election, Mr. Ganduje served as the governor of Kano State from 2015 to 2023. Abdullahi Ganduje's resignation is expected to either revitalize the party or plunge it into deeper uncertainty, as the North Central Bloc are already eyeing the position following the exit of the former APC chairman Abdullahi Adamu without completing his tenure. For now, the APC is yet to release an official confirmation. This loud silence has created room for speculations, political calculation, and permutation. Whoever emerges as the next chairman will need to adopt a strategy to manage the internal discord and ensure effective party administration that will enhance inclusion. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
$911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,000,000.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam, thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
you
not
took my
going
time
to be
to
on the
God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend Nigeria.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. Alexi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, faithfuls, fellow, members of Dr. Damage's show. You're welcome to another special day in the life of this broadcast. My name is KJ, and I'm sitting in on behalf of Dr. Rudolph, who is unavoidably absent today. But I promise you it's going to be a very interesting edition that we will all remember. Like I always say on this channel, your views are welcome. We are not looking for academic researchers. We're not looking for experts. If we are looking for experts, we know where to go to. We are looking for the views of you, the ordinary person, the person who do not have ordinarily access to the media to express yourself. We are looking for people's ideas that have not been tried before, because the world itself revolves around ideas. And the fresher the idea is, the better the society evolves. And that's why great countries like America will continuously be great, because they tap into those novel ideas that are coming from ordinary people. Everyday people. They are tapping into the resources of the younger generation, and they are making, their country continuously to be renewed with ideas that will indeed move their country forward. And so we on this channel, our intention is to continuously to canvas for these fresh ideas, fresh thoughts, fresh innovations, new frontiers on how to go about being able to resolve the quagmire we find ourselves in Africa and indeed in Nigeria. It would be a shame indeed that the biggest black nation, they place the convergence of the black skin on earth, is unable to govern itself. And sometimes it's a bit, it doesn't allow you to take in a global stage and be able to make yourself heard. And, in this show that we are the greatest of all. Having said that, you are welcome. And like you may have seen, we started playing some of the videos that we're going to discuss today. And we have a lot on our plates. And we are going to look at an update coming from Kenya at the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm just going to bring people right in so that we all can start this discussion as soon as possible. The Nnamdi Kanu's issue, we'll touch on that. The issue with the court in Kenya. The coalition members of the IDPs, the people now that Tinubu refers as IDPs, who are the other members of other different groups who are coming together to find a way to dislodge the APC. Tinubu describes them as APC. Whether you agree with that or not, that's where Nigeria is. Of course, in the same vein, we know that there is a discussion going on with between America and Iran. They say it's a secret discussion, I don't know if it's secret, because what 1 or 2 persons have heard no longer remains a secret. So secret as it may be, it is already making the rounds in the news. And we're also going to touch on Fubara. I told you people earlier on here that those days when we used to say we'll be cowboys, you understand what I'm saying? People like Fubara, I don't follow them to go and fight, because following them is just a waste of your time. I said it here. They betray you before you even know it. So going to join fight with people like that, leading the charge, doesn't always bring a good result. You will be left in the rain. And consequently, the previous people have been left in the rain with his settlement, with his godfather, and all the people that have followed him to that discussion. Of course, Ganduje, we knew it was just going to be a question of time, and he'll be edged out because of different political permutation. One of which is that he does not want, Tinubu is not looking forward to using him to run when 2027 comes. There are 3 factors or 3 candidates they are looking at right now. But of course, this has always been the game point. They use that VP to cause a lot of havoc in the system. So right now, the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, or the National Assembly, have been given that option. He may be the one running with Tinubu. Of course, apart from him, your dear Minister of Works is also in the line of, being chosen as one of those to run with them. Aside that, before now, Amechi was in the line, but Amechi has now shifted. So Amechi is not in the view of APC. The other person in the view, what you call the bull's target, the bull's eye, is also the governor of Benue State. Why is the governor of Benue State in the picture? Just in case you decide to say we are no longer interested in going with the Muslim ticket, you will find comfort in having the governor of Benue State run as the vice president. So these are the permutations that people are looking at, and also other political development in the country we'll look at. Rwanda has been able again to bring some form of closure or peace to the neighboring countries. Rwanda and the DRC signed a peace deal with President Trump, and we also played you a video, and we can also look into that if time permits. If not, we'll take that on our second segment of this show. But as it is right now, everything seems to be working very well for that signature that have been conducted in the White House. I think the atmosphere was peaceful. I'm praying that it comes out to be what will move Congo and Rwanda forward. Not because it is the best, but because that's only what we can get for now. I seem to be distracted by one fly. I don't know where it came from, All right. Yes, we also heard about the EFCC, who decided to tell, I'm beginning to like some of the things they do in Nigeria. Last week, the Totif, who I have so much respect for, he's a professor, by the way. So it's not whether you look at him from the traditional point of view or look at him from the Western education. He has all what it takes. Told the president to his face, please take your rubbish back to Abuja. Don't come and tell us here that this is Fulani headers farmers clash. Nothing like that. So again, EFCC maybe have taken a toll from there and told Yahya Bello to his face, who had applied or in the court told them that he wanted to go for a medical treatment. So, and EFCC said, no, you can't go. You have spent so much money, developing specialist hospitals in Kogi State. In fact, you shouldn't even go beyond your village, because there are many hospitals in your village which you developed. Why go abroad to go and seek for medical treatment? If this is what our government have been doing, Nigeria would have been a much better country. If you spend so much millions to do medical treatment, medical facility, you should be able also to use those hospitals. Nobody remembers that Abacha never left Nigeria for one day to go and treat himself anywhere, for the years he spent. And that is the same person who built all that. Miriam Abacha's hospital, it still remains an outstanding project in Nigeria before the evil people came and took over and ran it down. It was a reference point in Africa. But today, people have spent more money, double the money that was spent in building Miriam Abacha's hospital, now called National Hospital. They have spent twice that amount, and yet what they built is not close to what Miriam Abacha was able to do as a national hospital. Gentlemen and ladies, there was a tweet that I saw that was quite, shocking to me. And the guy said, if you continuously to save one naira, you may never be able to even realize $1. It takes you. So whatever that means, man, that is where we are now. Those who say Nigeria is getting better, oh yes, it's getting better. Those who say Nigeria there's no challenges, oh yes, there are no challenges. The leadership have done so well. It's just that it's like we're walking backwards. Because when I was growing up, my dad told me that he used to be paid then, sometimes 20 naira, sometimes 25 naira. And that was able to take care of everybody in the family. Today, 25 naira, in fact, the 25 naira cannot buy you sweet. So the question be, are we really making progress? We are quick to always using other nations who are not doing better than us as an example. Why not use countries that are doing better than us as an example? Why don't we talk about countries whose people are enjoying and living a better life than we, and aspire to be like those people, than aspiring to use countries that are not making way as a measure for what we ourselves should be having in Nigeria. I'll leave you with this so that you know the reason, and maybe that's where we'll start. Why EFCC said that Yahya Bello cannot go abroad for medical treatment.
Babajide Kolade Otitoju was at the state-of-the-art reference hospital, Okene, and others due to be inaugurated by the president, and files this story. Let's share that with you.
Health, they say, is wealth. Solid public health base is one of the key signs of good governance. To this end, governments spare no effort in promoting public health, which has to do with the science of protecting and improving the health of the people in their communities by detecting, preventing, and responding to infectious diseases, among others. The Abelo administration in Kogi State in the last few years has underlined its determination to provide quality health care for the people of the state by renovating or building new specialist hospitals across the state, including the Prince Abubakar Audu University Teaching Hospital, Ayigba, the Specialist Hospital in Lokoja, GYB Specialist Hospital, Isolu, GYB Specialist Hospital, Egain, General Hospital, Ida, and the Specialist Hospital, Tego. However, the reference hospital in Okene ticks all the boxes. It is without a shadow of a doubt one of the legacy projects of Yahya Bello administration, one which is meant to address the issue of medical tourism, which costs Nigerians about 664 billion every year. Okene Reference Hospital is also meant to serve as teaching hospital to the Confluence University of Science and Technology, a specialized university established just before the end of Governor Yahya Bello's first term in office. I had heard of Okene Reference Hospital and seen beautiful pictures of it in the online media, so I decided to travel to Okene to see things for myself. Located on the site of the old Okene General Hospital, The reference officer boasts of a giant standalone building where all his wards are located. I was met on arrival at the hospital by Engineer Kabir Suleiman, state consultant, who handled the project. He spoke about how long it took to put the project to bed, as well as some state-of-the-art equipment installed therein.
Behind us here, you can see the Okene Reference Hospital, 100% completed, fully furnished, fully equipped.
Tell us some of those things.
It has CCTV everywhere. Everywhere you are in this hospital, you are seeing somewhere. Somebody is somewhere watching everything that happens, both in and outside. Every action that happens in and outside the hospital complex. Then it has an internet facility, which...
Yeah, so we have a specialist hospital, and one of the things that you are using as a reference point is the fact that it has a CCTV. A CCTV. Hey, the brothers, with a far. So what has a CCTV that is less than $5? Some CCTVs are. What is the special thing that the fact that the hospital has a CCTV everywhere? That's a hospital. You're not talking about the equipment. You're not talking about the machinery. You're not talking about the specialist function that it can perform. You as a consultant is happy to advertise that it has a CCTV everywhere. And wherever you are in the hospital, you can be seen. What a shame. That is what we have built. That's the kind of country we have right now. You know.
It's meant to help the doctor to make research whilst they discharge their duty as medical doctors here.
He also described how challenging it was to work on the project and meet the governor's expectations.
It was a tug of war. You know, that is why it is good sometimes when you have people of our age supervising projects like this. You can give it everything we have.
Inside the building, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Zakari Usman, was waiting to show me around the inner recesses of the hospital, beginning with the dialysis unit.
So the dialysis, consumes a lot of water, and it's not just water, but water that has large molecules and ions separated. So there's what we call this a technology known as reverse osmosis that treats that water specially for the machine.
Mammography unit.
This is a 3D, a three-dimensional mammograph, and it's a xenograph questionnaire machine. This is what the latest technology, that is. Yes, latest. Exactly.
I had the privilege of seeing the maternity ward and the labor theater. Premature births, babies born more than 3 weeks before their estimated due date, stand a good chance of surviving, given the quality equipment here.
When they come here and the labor seems to be delayed for any reason, or there is no indication for even normal labor, they actually go into the labor room theater. The other thing is the phototherapy machine. When a child is delivered, some of them come out with jaundice. So they are put under a regulated, light, and that light will help. This is second in the world, first in Africa. And some of the features are because of the helium usage. The other machines can actually utilize about 2,000 liters of helium, but this one just about 900.
During a conference call with the manufacturers of the Signal Prime MRI equipment, the makers confirmed that the MRI machine installed at the reference hospital Kene is the first of its kind to be installed in sub-Saharan Africa.
His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello has been very ambitious and very decisive in equipping this hospital. So when I told you that this is the best hospital in Nigeria, in Africa, most have not been to other parts of Africa, it could as well be the best in Africa.
Yeah, so you can see that okay, let me share a story here. There was a time Nigeria was supposed to be switching to the HDV system from the analog, which were operating, which were the DVs. And some of us who were professionals in this formed a group and went to meet the minister to say, look, we've heard from the grapevine that you are planning to upgrade those cameras and those equipments to a HDV. That is like upgrading a B2, a Volkswagen, from being a Volkswagen to a Mercedes or a trailer. That's the right word. That's right. This thing. It does not work. There's no way you can convert a Volkswagen B2 to a trailer. So the outright thing to do is to discard those equipment and get fresh equipment. It will cost you less than trying to convert those things. But when we left, the experts in the ministry, just like this guy now is calling the manufacturers, and said to the manufacturers, oh, some people just came now and said this cannot be possible. Is it going to be possible? The man said, of course it's going to be possible. We have been doing it for other nations. In fact, what we want to come and bring to you is going to be a first class, never anywhere installed, any part of Africa. And so they went along with those expertise who came from outside, because once you are a black man, your expertise have some, it has a limitation, especially if you're talking from Africa. So they went with that expertise advice. Those of you who watch NTA at the time, shortly after Dora Akunyele left and during the Dora Akunyele time, you notice that the pictures were stretched out as if, it lost that dimensional view which the HDV was supposed to provide. And then it became, stretched, totally stretched, looks very, unnatural. But that's because they went ahead to install those equipment. And consequently, it didn't work out. Anyway, that's exactly what this man is doing right here. He's calling the manufacturer to tell them what the equipment can do. Boy, oh boy, do you expect him to say it is you are just getting something that have got? No, who will not pray? In fact, Africans will have a proverb that monkey, which person go say him picking no fine. Monkey no fine, but mama like him. So that's what they are doing here. And so I totally praise EFCC for not agreeing to allow him to go anywhere. Let him go back to these hospitals and be treated there.
I was not mentioning words. This here is a Revolution Magma CT scan machine, 128 slides, top-notch, high-tech equipment, cutting-edge technology, betting here, just like the MRI machine.
From the radiography unit, we move to the game-changing oxygen production unit.
This is a plant that helps us to generate our own medical oxygen, And if you look at it, starting from here, this is the entire contraption that makes the plant. Very good day, between 7 to 10 cylinders per hour, and between 140 to 150 kg cylinders per day. What it means is that we can actually generate the oxygen for consumption more beyond the needs that we have in this state. So we are also creating a niche. We're creating opportunities for Kogi State is in the center of this country. We're bordered by about 10 states. And from the last time I've checked, none of these states have an oxygen producing plant.
Dr. Zachary told me how proud he was to be the Commissioner for Health in Kogi State at this time. He said any Commissioner for Health in the world would like to have the kind of equipment the Okene Hospital and others have. He is immensely grateful to the Kogi governor for his decisive intervention in the Kogi State health sector.
I think I'm having the best of my
life. There's a waste of time so far because any commissioner anywhere in the world will be glad to have these things happen during his time as Commissioner of Health. And I am excited, at the prospect of what this portends for our country, Nigeria. I'm very, 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 very happy and always at all times grateful to His Excellency for the opportunity that he has given me this time and to have this happen during my tenure as a Commissioner of State.
The Ahmadu Bello University trained medical doctor and public health expert with an impressive private sector background also told me that the specialist hospital in Lokoja is 96% completed.
All that is left is just finishing touches, the aesthetics and putting the machines where they should be.
All right. I needed you guys to understand. I'm sorry if that went a bit too long, but I needed you to understand why and on what grounds that the EFCC is standing to refuse to grant bail to somebody who has taken over how many, billions of naira from his people and now wants to go outside. After building all this beautiful, well-equipped hospital, you want to go outside and go and receive treatment. What kind of treatment are you going to go receive when you already have it in your backyard? So I hope that they hold on to that argument. I hope that they insist that he's not going anywhere. And I hope that at the end of the day, justice will be given back to the people of Kogi State. If we have been doing this, I can assure you that Nigeria would have been a better place. Yeah, those who build ASO Clinic will have to be treated in ASO Clinic. If it becomes too much for ASO Clinic, they will be treated in National Hospital. If it becomes too difficult for National Hospital, they'll be treated in one of those specialist hospitals in Nigeria, but not coming abroad. Because that is why our country is not moving forward. I'm not saying this because I don't like Yaya Bello, the white lion. I'm saying that because you cannot spend so much money and yet the people are not giving any service and nothing happens with you. Let him be there. Let him treat himself in those places and let whatever is worrying him. In fact, it's even better for him to treat himself in his community because if he doesn't work well with the Oyibo treatment, he can seek native, you understand, native something for him to go along and treat himself. Other than going to Oyibo people who may not understand exactly what the problem is with him. Let him go to a local hospital in Kogi. Yes, specialist hospital with well-equipped hospital that even that one of the equipment it was manufactured exactly for Kogi State. It was not manufactured for any other place, So I like that. It's one of those things. Well, like I said, it's going to be just touching on some of these issues, and then we will move very fast to what we are going to be discussing today. All right, having said that, there's also a news item that shocked everybody, and that's the one of Peter Obi's brother. Peter Obi's brother has been in business for over 40 years. But this same property was acquired more than, I think, 2009 or thereabout, if I still remember the interview that I watched earlier on. And they didn't move to that place until much later. But they have every necessary paper for it. And then, before you say Jack, people come. And I've witnessed this thing before. This is what they do. They go to court. They get an injunction against you. They come to your gate whilst nobody's seeing. It can be the back side of your gate. It can be the front side of your gate. It can even be the wall of your gate. They paste their paper there. And then they take a shot of it. And then they remove it. and they leave. So unknown to you, they go back to court and say that they have published this. They say that they have published it and that they could not serve you, but they served you, putting it on your gate or on your wall. And they will show the picture evidence of that thing being on your gate with your gate number on it. So, in other words, the court assumes now that you are refusing or run away from taking that summons, and they go ahead and then begin to take out action against you. That's exactly what happened in this case. The intention is already known. They want to make sure that people are not able, that the owners are not able to see that. So they come when you are not available and they put it on your gate and they take a shot. Now, it is unfortunate that this is happening in our own time, in our country. Remember, this is happening in Lagos. Lagos, without any fear of being exaggerating, Lagos is one of the most developed cities in Nigeria. It's more developed than any other place. You have more people who probably know how to read and write than any other city that we know so far. And yet we can have this kind of kangaroo behavior. Remember that some of these building demolitions, not because it's some people want to bring the ethnic coloration to it. No, Nigeria is already suffering from massive housing problem, and every day all around the nation they go out and they keep demolishing houses. You are even reducing from the little that you have, thereby putting more people in the street without a house. I don't know what kind of governance is that. I don't know what kind of governance is that. So, if you ask me, I will say, well, maybe there's a heightened level of wickedness amongst our people, And yeah, I see that Show is on the show. Show is on the show. So let us bring Show in. Maybe coming from Lagos, part of the country, he may have more understanding of what's going on. Show, welcome to the show.
Thank you, KJ, and well done for hosting. Well, the Peter Obi story, I saw it, and good afternoon to viewers from little beautiful England. Viewers, people in the comment section, those who are saying KJ is having a monologue. No, it's just that people have not joined. By now, you should know your host now. KJ know the hold mic. If people are backstage, you bring them on. So don't be tired. If you're tired, join the panel. Let's enrich the conversation. But shout out to the people in the comment section and to those who would watch much later. With regards to the demolition of building Peter Obi's brothers' building in Lagos, it's quite pathetic. The way the Lagos State have come out and to say that they didn't do it, and they sent a guy, I think it's a commissioner, I can't remember his name, and it went on TV. I saw part of it, and it was and it was saying it's irresponsible of someone like Peter Obi to be going on social media to accuse Lagos State government. They didn't do it. And I can't remember if Peter Obi expressly accused Lagos State government when he spoke. I don't think he did. And they asked this guy a question, which honestly I couldn't believe the answer he gave. And no, actually, he said they didn't do it, and they said, who did it? And they said, oh, it's a case of two fighting. Somebody else is trying to lay claim on the property. And they said, most likely it will be those people that went to demolish. And the journalist said to him, are individuals allowed to go to another man's property and take it down? And he said, I don't think so. He wasn't even assertive to say, no, they cannot, or yes, they can. And you begin to wonder that's a commissioner saying that he doesn't think so. So basically, KJ, you and I can have an argument. This is my land, is not your land, is my building, is not my building. And I would just go to one court and get one injunction and go there and bulldoze the whole thing. I mean, that just reeks of incompetence on the part of the government. You know, nobody should have the right to go to another man's or a property you're fighting over and go and take it down. And like you rightly said, we have shortage. We shouldn't be tearing down houses. And this is not just Lagos. I've seen videos of some in Benin, some in Enugu, some in, I mean, we don't have enough houses. Even if you want to repossess these buildings, as the government, you can repossess it and repurpose them. Why do we just get so excited and just take bulldozers and tear buildings down? Even some places, I think it's in Delta State or Edo State, they gave a law when they said, where they said anybody who is linked to any form of terrorism, you know, kidnapping, you just in Anambra, I think it's happening in one of the South states as well. I think it's Delta or Edo. You just take down the building. For me, it's even you're getting rid of potential evidence.
Yes.
You go to a crime scene and you just take down the building. I don't know why we get so eager and excited to take down buildings. We don't have enough of them. Give people the chance to regularize some of these things. Even if they've built on land, as long as it's not in the canal, on the canal, or on the waterways and all these things, you know, no hazard. They've just built, they've not paid ground rent or whatever they're owing. Let them know and say you have to pay by this date or whatever, or you can repossess it and repurpose it. So this idea of knocking things down, honestly, how long does it take to build these structures? And you knock it down in 5 minutes. So I think we can do better as a people. And this is not just Lagos State. It happens a lot more in Lagos State. And Lagos State, you know, of course, we talk about them more because, of course, it's Lagos. You know, you can't talk about Nigeria, not talk about Lagos. So maybe that's why they're in the news a lot more. And obviously, Peter B is involved in this. So people are reading, you know, is it a political undertone? Are they targeting him? If they can't get him, can they get him through his brother? You know, so all that. I mean, you can't blame people for such permutations. You know, so and that's even more reason why I would have thought the people behind this would be more careful, because you don't want to set people off. I mean, if they're obedient, if Peter B's people just decide to be radical and just go crazy and say they've done this to Peter B, we're just going to go riot, we're going to burn things down. That can happen. So, you know, we need to be sensitive how we handle these sort of things. Going forward, I hope that we will do better as a people. All of us do better as a people.
Thank you so much. Okay, and then my brother and friend, Mr. Yaya Bello. I don't know if you follow it, because you know I went to out of my way to look for that video, because I know when Mr. Tutojo did that documentary for that hospital in Kogi State, you know. So I went to look for it because I wanted to know whether it is not the same Yaya Bello who built more than 9 hospitals across Kogi State with 2 specialist hospitals. Now wants to go to the US or UK to go and treat high blood pressure. What do you say about that? No, again, please I'm not trying to make you laugh, but is it that when you go hospital, you yourself who built it cannot go there or something? Is there a law against it?
It is time to jackpot now. You think it's the only poor man they jackpot. It's time for the White Lion himself to jackpot. I didn't see this video until you shared it. It's one of those news that I missed when it happened, and it'll be quite interesting. Now, I don't watch TVC at all. There are channels I don't watch. I don't watch TVC at all. TVC, and this particular journalist that went there, I can't listen to him for 5 minutes. There's a way he speaks that
fortunately, sorry, I'm not cutting you. He's a good friend of mine. I did a UNDP walk once with him in Lagos State. I had to travel to go do that. He was the one who came from the other agencies. I came from the UNDP in Abuja, and he is a very pleasant fellow. In fact, I liked it. In fact, Nami go out of my way to keep trying to keep in touch with him because it was just so pleasant. But all of a sudden, man, I don't understand this guy. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, what's wrong with Nigerian journalists?
I don't know him personally, but the little I've seen on it, of him, every time he talks, there's a way he speaks that just, it's not pleasant to my ears. So he might be making sense, but there's a way he talks that just puts me off.
It's like what the Americans call here, are you slow?
I don't want to put it that way.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting.
Pleasant fellow.
Which is fantastic. I don't know him personally, so I've just spoken on the way he presents. That's what I don't like or enjoy. It'll be interesting to see if he has commented on this plea by the White Lion, Yaya Bello, to travel abroad. Since he went to Kogi and he did this extensive, which I think is good reportage,
Yes.
of these buildings, of this hospital, it would be good to see his comment to say, I remember going to this place, and for him to play these videos to his audience on TV to say, look at what I did, look at what, when I went there, they built this. In fact, the hospitals have CCTV. Can you imagine? Beautiful hospitals with CCTV. I left a comment. I said, my kitchen is fully functional. I have a massage chair in my kitchen. I mean, the first thing you spoke about a hospital is CCTV. I mean, how dumb is that? Anyway, so it'll be good if Mr. Otitoju can speak to Otito, because Otitoju in Yoruba means the truth is the most important. So, I don't know how to put it. The truth is, yeah, exactly. It's premium. So it'd be good for him to tell people the truth and say, I went to this place a few years ago. These are the hospitals that His Excellency Governor Yaya Bello built. So, why does he want to go abroad? It will be unfortunate if Mr. Otitoju does not speak about it, because he's directly, involved in one way or the other. With Yaya Bello, it's not a surprise. How many times did Buhari use the Asoro Clinic? Like I've said, I work in and around the NHS in the UK. So National Health Service, like the hospitals, I work in and around from one hospital to another in my line of duty. So I meet a lot of doctors, a lot of JAPA doctors. And I was talking to one of the doctors who, I don't know if he's a recent JAPA, and he was telling me, he said he used to work at the Hasoro Clinic. And it was giving me gist on, how under-equipped the place was, how everything they tell us is just BS, that they've spent X amount of money. And he said, the president never visited. I won't mention the president that was there at the time. I'll just leave that out. But he said, the president never visited, because I don't want to expose this guy, but he said the president never visited the clinic for anything, not even for headache. So the budget money for these things, excuse me, the structure that I saw in this your clip, it's beautiful. It would rival any structure in the world. In terms of structure, what they've designed, you can tell they traveled, they saw, inspiration, and they built it. But what is left of that place today? Is it functional? It's one thing to call the people that did the Sigma MRI scan and they're telling you it's the first in Africa. They will sell it to anybody that gives them money. It doesn't matter. It's not because they like Yaya Bello. If I go there tomorrow and I say, I want one in my house, they'll sell it to me.
Yes.
As long as they know that it's safe in my hands.
Yeah, you pay them. That's what they're there for business.
So all this idea of is the first in Africa, the first in West Africa, who cares? If you want to tell me about something that's first in Africa, you tell me something that's relevant. Now, it's come to
sorry, I'm not cutting you. Let me just give you a joke here. That's a friend of mine who was telling me about an Alhaji who never lies. He's a car dealer in Abuja. So when he gets his new supply, and the best of them, before he leaves that money, he would meet his wife and speak in Hausa. Madam, how much you think this car is? The wife, being a wife now, of course, look at it and say, Alhaji, I will give you 5 million. You say, 5 million? Okay. Then when he goes to the office, if you come to buy, he will tell you, Wallahi, sure. Even somebody just priced this car now 5 million.
And he wasn't lying.
Of course, he's not lying.
He wasn't lying. Yeah.
So this is what we are seeing in Nigeria constantly. And you wonder why. The question I wanted to ask you is that how did Abacha manage not to ask any question? I mean, not to leave to go for medical treatment throughout the years he spent in Aso Villa. What was the secret?
Oh, Abacha. See, these things are doable. So Abacha knew that he didn't have many friends abroad. And he probably also didn't feel safe in their hands. He was a military man, a good military man at that. A bad president, a bad guy, a bad human being, but he was a good soldier. So they understand the dangers of going to lie down on the table of a foreign doctor. They understood it more than all these ones in Agbada, always flying to France. Buhari's favorite place was London and Germany, and Tinubu's favorite place is France. They just go and lie down, and these doctors cut them open and patch them up. People like Abacha understood the danger involved in that. That's why you won't see people like the current guy in Burkina Faso. You won't go near an Oyinbo man's doctor. You won't see Gaddafi. Wouldn't have done that. So it is possible to get these hospitals equipped. So Babangida, Abacha will have made sure that they got the best doctors. If they can't find in Nigeria, they will find one they can trust, maybe from Saudi, maybe from the Arab world, to bring them and get, if they don't want to use Nigerian doctors to treat them, anything can be done. I mean, Professor Shibaju, while he was vice president, had a surgery, a minor surgery, but he brought Nigerian doctors from the US to operate on him in Nigeria. So it's doable. It's just that these current guys, it's because they're in office, so they're not better than you and I. So they're easily, they're easily impressed by, I'm going overseas for treatment. It's a statement to them. It's like a big man thing. So they would rather go abroad for treatment. They're excited. They will still, they will tell their people, oh, I'm going abroad for overseas for treatment. I'm going overseas. I'm going to Germany. I'm going to this specialist doctor in London to get treated. So they're impressed, like any regular guy. So don't see them as people who are smart or intelligent. They are not as intelligent as a lot of people think they are. Because tell me, why wouldn't you? I mean, I thought if there was something that was going to change their minds about the healthcare in Nigeria, or the lack of it, would be COVID. Remember how many of them died during COVID? Even the former governor of Oyo State died. Buruji Kashamu, that was meant to run, that ran for Ogun State governor as Ruben Abati's principal. Abati was meant to be the VP in 2019. Buruji Kashamu died. The former governor of Oyo State died, all to COVID. And so many senators and former senators, a few of them died because America and the UK shut their doors. Nobody's coming in, nobody's going out. I mean, like the rest of the world. All the doors were shut. You weren't traveling anywhere. So these guys were not able to travel overseas for treatment. And so many of them died. So I thought that would have opened their eyes to say, Omo, let's fix this, our healthcare. Even if it is going to be expensive and the poor man will be priced out, that they can't even attend it because it will be so expensive, let us build it so that the next time something like that happens, we have somewhere to go to get treated. If, God forbid, another thing like COVID happened tomorrow, so many of these guys will die again. Because they just cannot think. And maybe they can think. Maybe they can think. I'll round off on this. Maybe they can think because there's a reason why they don't invest in Nigeria. They are the ones behind destroying Nigeria. They know the amount of damage they are doing to Nigeria. They know it is not profitable to invest in Nigeria. And they keep talking about demarketing Nigeria. No. They themselves are the biggest demarketers of Nigeria because even from the money they steal, you would think they would invest some of it in Nigeria. They know that if you're smart, you take your money to the West and invest. So they don't. Maybe that's why they've decided not to build these hospitals, because they know it might not be profitable in the long run. So that's why I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe they're smart and they just think, you know what, I won't put I've seen some of Tinubu supporters. I said it here once before, and the guy countered me in the comment section. I won't mention the name. I was on a platform one time and they were discussing and they said, oh, Mr. XYZ, would you invest in Nigeria? And he said, never. He said, as long as there's opportunity to invest in the West, I won't invest in Nigeria. And this is a big Tinubu supporter who lives in the US. And he said, I won't invest in Nigeria. Because if you're with your senses, it takes connection to invest in Nigeria. You have to know that that my money is safe. So I don't know for our politicians, but they are some of the craziest people about.
A question for you. Sometimes when we come to this channel and people, I would rather like if you have a contrary opinion, rather than just throwing it in, you come and sit down and then tell us why you think you differ for what you are saying. If Nigeria can afford to buy some of the most expensive vehicles in the world.
No, our economy does not matter when it comes to the president's car. Our economy does not matter when it comes to building the most expensive VP lodge. Our economy does not matter when it comes to private jets. Our economy does not matter when it comes to all these things. But when it comes to the common man, all the economists, like we can see in the comment section, they come out and they tell you, our economy is this, our economy is that, there will be inflation, how can you pay people this salary? But president wants to buy a jet that can rival, some of the best countries that are doing better than us. Oh, that's fine. Our economy can carry it.
Yeah.
President wants to buy an Escalade. Oh, why not? Our lawmakers wants to buy cars worth 160 million naira each. Of course, why not? There'll be no outrage. The minute you say, give our people free paracetamol, don't you understand economics? Didn't you study? Can't you reason? Are you slow? Are you stupid? See, they say there's no way you support APC that you won't sound stupid. So, and my calling is not to heal people of their stupidity. You carry on. Carry on.
Right. Thank you so much. And again, I don't know where to go to with these stories, but now some of the comments that have been made concerning Ganduje is the fact that, and some people are finding it difficult to believe what we are saying is that what is the problem with Ganduje? What do you see? Why do you think the government is going the direction it's going?
I mean, it could be many things. There are so many stories out there, so many, people, everybody becomes a political analyst, par excellence. There's been cry from the people of the North Central to say they feel left out of all this, the sharing. If you look at the president is from Southwest, if you look at the VPs from Northeast, if you look at the Senate president is from South, and the deputies from Northwest. So the people of North Central are saying we need to get something. So a lot of people are saying it could be that they just want to zone the APC chairmanship to North Central, so that at least they feel like they have something. Of course, some other people have also said that they want like this could be the first move in bringing Kwakwanso into the fold, because remember, Kwakwanso was part of the people that went to work and made APC in 2015, I believe. So, and he's close friends with Bola Tinubu. Kwakwanso and President Tinubu are friends. So a lot of people are saying that, it might be that they want to use Kwakwanso as the vice president. And if he's from the same zone, geopolitical zone, as the current APC chairman, it won't work. Well, ideally, it shouldn't work. So some people are speculating that Kwakwanso might be going to APC to run as the vice. But whatever it is, I am happy that they've gotten rid of Ganduje. I like Peter Obi's tweet. I mean, it was sarcasm. Peter Obi said that he wants to, I'm not sure, did he thank Ganduje? He said, he was just saying, well done, that people who are not qualified should be resigning. He said, if you know you're not qualified, just resign like Ganduje has done. I mean, people like Ganduje should not be anywhere near power. Is one name that I always bring up, because I cannot understand for the life of me how you can support a party whose national chairman, your Oga, was seen stuffing bribe into his Agbada, Babariga, on camera, and you support that party, and you defend it, and you print like you. Imagine if it was Peter Obi that was caught when he was governor, that happened. Just imagine that was Peter Obi that was caught doing exactly that. I mean, well, they will have destroyed his political career. He will have, anytime he speaks, they will just throw that video at him and say, you're a thief. You're a thief. So this guy, I keep saying it, these APC people, these their supporters, the ones that don't matter in the grand scheme of things, these ones that they send online, all these Bambiala online people. If you present them with Peter Obi tomorrow against Ganduje, they will vote Ganduje as president. They will tell you Ganduje is better. They will say, stealing money does not, you don't need piousness, you don't need a holy man to be president. They would make it seem like, what's the big deal in collecting bribe? They are that deranged, dangerous people. And this is why democracy sometimes, I'm slightly against it, because how can the vote of somebody that thinks like that be equal to my vote? God forbid that your vote and mine are the same.
Thank you so much. But what man of procedure, welcome. But I will come to you soon. I want to ask one more question to my brother. Sure, have you been able to differentiate Alibaba from the 40 thieves?
All of them are one and the same. They say half a dozen and what is it again? 6 and half a dozen. It's the same.
So won't you say we're in Alibaba and the 40 thief situation?
Of course. Somebody is asking in the comment section that the king of Saudi used to receive treatment in UCH Ibadan. Yes, I can confirm that categorically from source. It's not hearsay. The royal family of Saudi used to attend UCH Ibadan years and years ago to receive treatment. The same UCH Ibadan is the same UCH that my mom uses now or use now. And honestly, I can't even say it's a shadow of the old UCH. To attend UCH now, you have to pay to see a doctor. When my mom goes for an outpatient appointment, you pay to see a doctor. I think it's about 3,000 or 4,000 naira. It went from 1,005, and you have to pay in cash. They don't take card payment. You have to pay in cash so that it's not traceable. And they write, the receipt where they has carbon, where they put carbon under. Still, I'm talking today. They'll put carbon under. They will write you a receipt. They'll tear it for you. Now, I don't know how much goes to the pocket of UCH, because they can easily get another set of receipts and instead of the 4,000 that will reflect 1,000, everybody has to pay. Now, how many people can pay that? I'm talking the older people. So that is what happens at UCH. They told them a while ago, maybe like a year ago, that you have to pay for diesel fee extra because UCH was totally cut off the grid because they were owing so much. And UCH will tell them, their patients, because we're going to put on the generator, you have to pay diesel fee to see a doctor. The same UCH. I mean, if we say now, they'll say our budget, what can our budget even, should we just shut down the country? Because our budget can't seem to afford anything. No, but think about it. You have to pay for diesel. I went with my mom in 2019. I was there in 2019 and recently. I went with my mom for outpatient appointment around 10 a.m. They had benches, long benches that people will sit down under the mango tree in the village. Those long benches, they had it in their corridors, for outpatient corridor. And because it was so dark, and I didn't know, so everybody was using their phone as torchlight, flashlight. I didn't know. I was just walking. I thought I could see it. I bashed my shin into one of those benches because they are low. I couldn't see it.
Yes.
Like I was in so much pain, and I thought, this is UCH. UCH. My mom went there for something else while she was sick. She contracted malaria while she was on admission at UCH. She was there for something else. She contracted malaria. Same UCH. So what's happened over the years? This is not a Tinubu only problem. This is a problem of leadership over the years. So if we talk about Tinubu today, it's because it's the president. Tomorrow, if he becomes Peter Obi and nothing changes, it will be the same thing we'll be doing to Peter Obi. So it's not a Tinubu hate watch. It's just that Tinubu is the current president. Who do you want me to direct it to? I hate it when I come here and people say, you're not discussing solution. Did I tell you I want to run for office? If I had solution to your problem, won't I go and run for office? Did I cause the problem? And they will come and they say, hey, tell us solution, tell us solution. Who am I to give you solution? When you see the people causing problem, you hail them. You don't ask them for solutions. You ask for autograph. You ask for job for your children. You ask for job for your wives. You ask for job for your children. But it's me that you'll be asking solution. Are we all mad? You'll be asking me solution. You talk about problem all the time. Log off. Close the channel. Go and do something else. Asking me for solution as if I'm the cause of the problem.
Thank you so much, sure. I don't. You see, you're just picking my mind because sometimes when they come here, they expect that we have the magic wand, but they forget that none of us here is an elected official of Nigerian government. We're just people who have decided to come together to try to throw in our idea to see whether somebody out there will pick it and decide to run with it, and that's what it's all about. And welcome, my man of prestige. So far, you've been following us. What do you think?
I've not been following, and I just joined in. How are you doing, sir?
Okay.
But I mean, I know the topic. I think what we're going to be talking about. Is it about
yeah, right now we are
dollar organic dollar, whatever,
Yes, and one of the people who are, those who support the government is saying that who asked us to say that Ganduje is leaving because Tinubu has changed his mind. Do you have any inclination of why Ganduje is leaving? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just my personal opinion, I mean, I believe everybody's opinion, there has been various opinion, circulating around. But if you put two and one together, there's some fact to that, in my own opinion, I think more of political Game of Thrones, if I may use that narrative. That's what's actually going on. What am I trying to say? We all know that Ganduje doesn't get along well with Kwankwaso. You see, Kwankwaso has been very silent recently. I think he had a meeting, some time ago, about 2 weeks with Tinubu, and he's not part of this so-called, collusion. He has not been criticizing Tinubu. He's a very good friend of Tinubu, that notwithstanding. So what I'm thinking is not just me. That has been a lot, like I said. They asked Ganduje to resign, so Kwankwaso will come in. And eventually, from what I'm hearing, Kwankwaso is going to become the vice president. You see, they already nominate, temporary chairman right now. So they might give the chairmanship to the northeast. And Shettima is going to, the way things are going on right now, Shettima may not be the vice president. I don't see that. I think Tinubu is trying to change his strategy because he exactly know what's going on about how the north. He probably think that he already captured the south, the southwest. Southeast is a different thing. If Obi doesn't contest, contest. So he's pivoting to the north. You see as much as he can get in the north because he's very popular. Let's just call it what it is. if there's a rare vote, Tinubu is probably about 80% underwater. I mean, this is my own opinion, okay? Maybe about 20% of the people, we like him, favor him and something like that. But the other 80% is probably underwater, like I said. So, but anyway, going back to what I think, they're going to bring Kwankwaso as the vice president to replace Shettima. Then give Northeast the chairman. So the main thing, he wants to win Kanu. You know how many votes coming from Kanu. So it might be something like win and lose, because they're thinking that Bono State is not that important. I mean, the number from that place is not as big as Kanu. Probably the biggest or Lagos. I don't know which one is bigger, depending on how. I know they have more local government, but in terms of electoral number, they are very close to Lagos. They're two of the biggest. Some people say Kanu. So that is the permutation. And to be realistic, you may say Tinubu is a strategy or whatever. He knows what's going on. He has the intel. He has been disliked in the north to a certain degree. He's not going to get that kind of vote. So if you can capture Kanu, at least, in the northwest, maybe somewhat little, get 25% in some other places, then capture the whole southwest. People thinking that he already captured South. I don't know how far it is. I guess they're basing on the structure of the government. They're looking at the government as the structure. But that may not be the case. Look at what happened in Delta State. Okowa was the vice president to Atiku, and Obi won it. And we know Obi won River State and some other places. So that's the one I'm looking at here. I don't know how far this Game of Thrones is going to, in that he can win with this Game of Thrones he's playing. That's exactly what I think is happening. Everybody knows it. I mean, in my own opinion, Kwankwaso is going to join them.
Sorry, just to talk about the numbers. I just saw an interview or a press conference by the Edo State governor, and he said there's 2.5 million votes coming for Tinubu in 2027 from Edo State. So Edo people, Edo no be Lagos. Edo don't do past Lagos. So only you want.
What happened during the past election? But anyway, let me wrap up on this particular point.
Oh, sorry.
So,
and sorry, since you said Kwankwaso is going, I think that's why we've not seen Ovie. Ovie might become the SSA to the vice president. Ovie has been missing. So maybe he's
where's Ovie?
he's doing underground work for his organ now.
Okay, good. So KJ, like I'm saying, it's pretty much like Gandida is being used, as a pawn in order to vote Kwankwaso. We know, like I said, he and Kwankwaso doesn't get along well. It's just the permutation. See which one is going to favor Tinubu, because actually Tinubu know that he's in trouble in the north. So he's going to try to capture as much state as he can catch. Is it the governor is going to be the structure? I mean, like we are sure everybody is scared. Where you and I, Kenji. The governors, the politicians are not the structure. The people are the structure here. It doesn't matter who is the governor of the state. If they want to vote for the president, they're going to vote for the president. So the governor, you being in charge of the state doesn't persuade the real people, which are called the structure. But in Nigeria, it's in a different case. They tend to look at the governors as the structure. But some of them last time wasn't the same. Didn't happen. A lot of the governors, wasn't the structure to make you the ruling party or whatever the APC win. So that unless Nigeria has woken up, which I don't know, they are still docile. This is where we are in Nigeria. So on that commentary, I'm done with this when it comes to this Ganduje issue. But that's what I think.
Okay, thank you. I respect your view, Mr. Odi. You are welcome. And man of prestige, the man of prestige. The righteous man, my brother from Nigeria. Okay, let's go to you. Normally I will defer to the man in Nigeria because of his time, but I'm sure that Odi will make a quick comment and then we can come to the man, the righteous man.
Hello, everybody. We're here for another therapy session. At least if we can't do anything, we can talk. Here, sure. And I agree with him when he says, when people keep asking, offer solution, like, well, at least I can talk. I'm getting frustrated about a few things. When you watch
what's been going on in Kenya, what those kids did recently and the last time. And you also see, I think, what happened in Lome, right? We had NSAS, we had whatever Shore was playing with. I think we're just being manipulated. Obviously, I think Nigerian kids know Shore is manipulating them, right? At this point, it's part of the system. And this is the chameleon nature of so-called Nigerian leaders. And that's why personally, I know there has to be, the revolution I'm talking about can't be, we've been throwing out around revolution since 1985, it hasn't really happened. Ghana had theirs. Revolution is not the one Showore is talking about. It's a joke, right? Bringing us to talking about Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso has been part of the system. Anybody that hasn't seen that Kwankwaso is part of the system, I'm not sure what the movie the person has been watching. Kwankwaso has never criticized Tinubu for one act, not one. Of every people, all the violence in the north, you could see from the alliances that have been formed post-election. He didn't even go to court. He didn't challenge the election. He's a Tinubu man. He's part of the system. If you notice recently, if you follow him on X, he's been receiving foreign dignitaries. He's been receiving ambassadors and some very important people from, and you could see he's part of. So these guys are agents being used to undermine Nigeria. All of them, Showore, Kwankwaso, Tinubu and his men, even the Ganduje guy. The idea of this Ganduje is a joke also, right? They've thrown us another bone to chew. Nigerian politicians don't resign from anything, right? You have to fight to kill them, right? You have to unalive them. It's impossible for you to look at Ganduje. How can he resign? He will fight to the death. So you could see there is something on the works, which we're not privy to. And by the time the movie has been this, you say, oh, that's why they did this. Of course, there's something going on. He has been offered something, well, he's been made an offer he cannot refuse. It's either, NSA had come to him and said, Oga, we're going to prosecute you. Look at your file. All of them have file now. If you're president, you have file on all the important people. If you don't do this, we'll do this. Or take this one. It's a game. He's still part of the system. He's not mad at Tinubu. How would Ganduje be pushed out? And the media is part of this. Guardian, you look at their headlines. This is an orchestrated system. Only the kids in Nigeria can save Nigeria. When they feel they've had enough of this tyranny and this suffering, then they will say something. They will lash out. Look at the kid. Nobody wants to die in Nigeria. Fela was very smart. He said, I don't want to die. I just marry, my boy just born. Nobody wants to die. For you to get a new country, people have to lose their lives, unfortunately. People have to fight like hell if it's my brother Trump. And if you don't fight for it, you're not going to get it.
All right.
So let me just land. And when I speak about the North, and the way people talk about the North is like, are these people not human beings? People say, oh no, the South, the North Central wants something. What do they want? They've been killed. They're being killed every day. Someone is suggesting that if they get APC chairmanship, then they will go and vote for Tinubu. Are we like just having a meeting, just making conjectures, or can't we see what is going on? I'll just leave it at this for now, you know, but we need the revolution.
Thank you. And I want to tell those who think that they
You are muted, the Keja. We can't hear you. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you for your contribution. Those people who think the middle belt is looking for, you know, chairmanship before they can move, they have something else coming. But let's not digress. Righteous man, just like Odi have said, I believe that Mr. Ganduje has been given an offer, or is working in tandem with the northern agenda. That is the northern political. Do you have an idea of what that thing is going to be or will be?
KJ, good evening from Nigeria, and all the panelists. My greetings to you all. Well, I think I want to repeat what Erufai said in the recent, most recent interview.
Someone has two devices on. Is it you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, but there's another device playing at the background.
Okay.
Mr. Ike or somebody. Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes,
okay, so I want to refresh our memories to what Erufai said recently, and I think that is an envelope that was open to tell and to warn Nigerians of what they should expect in 2027. And it will be a mistake for anybody to take the words of Erufai with kids' globe. It will be an error, political suicide for anybody to think that Erufai has no political value in the North. When he was interviewed, Erufai said, it will be a miracle. It will be a miracle for Tinubu to come third position in 2027. He said there is no way, as long as this earth remains, that Tinubu will win 2027. That in fact, if he comes third, then it's a miracle. That statement is pregnant, and I think that statement is what people should look into and begin to watch out how things will turn. If you look at the defections, I don't know how many heavyweight political Northerners have defected to APC in the recent time. Rather, they are congregating together. Even those who are in APC, Ndume said they are still part of the coalition. And the former special assistant to Mr. President, who was architect to mobilization of the youth, when he was interviewed recently, also said it that he is not leaving APC, but he will be in the APC and be working against the re-election of Tinubu 2027. So from all these statements, I want to believe that the North, whether the Middle Belt, whether they call North, they have made up their mind.
Okay, we can come back to you. All right, that's the problem we're having doing this in the house. Okay, Mr. Yes, are you back? Okay, if you are back, you can conclude your. Yes, you can conclude. Go ahead, man of righteous man. Can you hear me, righteous man?
Okay, so yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, my boy just came in. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is this: with all that we have on ground today, with the economy, with insecurity, you have had how many Nigerian soldiers were ambushed and deleted by the terrorists. And we're not even sure if that number which they have given to us are accurate. It might not be accurate because when the government tells you 10, it could be 20 or 50. But you see what is happening. You see the bomb explosion in Imo State that killed a lot of people. You see what the terrorists is doing in Enugu State. So the condition of Nigeria today, especially economically, is not telling well that Tinubu will win 2027. And I'm one person that believes that no matter how the APC try to rig 2027 election, it's not going to work. While I try to round up, let me remind us again the interview granted to P2B. P2B said after 2027, he will not contest for any electoral position in Nigeria again. They asked him why. He said by that time he will be 70-something and he will be retiring to rest, which means indirectly or logically, he has accepted the 4 years tenure, and after it, he hand over to the North. So we're going to see a lot of things that are going to happen, but the greatest surprise that shocked the marrows of Nigerians yesterday was Fubara. How Fubara betrayed millions of Nigerians, sold himself out like a porridge of yam to Wike and to Tinubu. I don't know if you have seen it online, the kind of conditions he agreed upon so that he would be reinstated as governor. He will not contest for second tenure. He will not appoint, elect, or appoint any person that will contest for chairmanship of local government. The House is not going to nominate anybody. The commissioners, every other person will be will be nominated by Wike. And that is a betrayal of trust, betrayal of love that Nigerian people, irrespective of tribe, religion, and party, gave to him, supported him. So many people even lost their life because of Fubara. And we just woke up yesterday to hear that that man has betrayed the Nigerian people. So that is the major news. And Wike selling 3.6 billion worth of land to his own son. I think that's what we have on ground today in Nigeria, and it's very fundamental. The resignation of Gunduje is not actually raising an eyebrow because everybody knows that the Northerners will fall back to their coven at the end of the day and achieve what they want to achieve. Thank you.
You're muted, KJ.
Thank you so much, Odi. Thank you. Nigeria is full of drama, so we're not going to, wadi the net. Let's just, try and remain in one side. Maybe later on, other moderators will take up the other one. Now, I agree with you guys, but here is what I'm saying. Ganduje is a major player in the politics. And for Ganduje to wake up and just resign, if you're a good northern policy watcher, you know that there's something coming up. And that which is coming up is possible that Ganduje is the one who is going to marshal that actions. So they are withdrawing him, just like they withdraw the brother of, the former contestant with Obi from the same government. So what we're saying now is that the political dynamics are changing, but we'll continuously to observe. Ike, with this political dynamics that's going on, what do you think we should be expecting? And just like they've said, is it really that because Tinubu wants the 3 million votes from Kanu that he's doing this, or there's something else that we should expect? Because people, I don't believe, so you said that Mr. El-Rufai is not a pushover, but government power is more than what El-Rufai can muster. Government power is much more stronger. What do you think that with government power in Tinubu's angle, he can actually use to do damage against whatever is coming against him in 2027?
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My brother, righteous man in Nigeria, God bless you. Are we talking about Ganduje resignation or what? Because I didn't start with you. I don't know what is on the plate.
Yeah, Ganduje resignation. We also discussed the Peter Obi's issue. We have discussed Yaya Bello's hospital, applying to go abroad to go and have a medical checkup because he's not feeling well. And then EFCC is telling him that, no, you built a lot of good hospitals in your state. You can as well go there and be treated. So any of those you can weigh in.
Okay. For the one of Ganduje, we have always said here that APC is going to explode, and the dynamics is showing that it's going to explode. But the explosion is, we don't know how far it's going to go. We don't know who people who are going to become the victims of the explosion of APC. The power play that is going to happen in APC this is just the beginning. We have already seen the beginning with what is going on with the vice president and his people. So I think at the end of the day, we will know why Ganduje resigned, whether he was forced to, or like Odi said, whether he was shown his file and they gave him an option what to do, either to resign honorably or your two hands go at your back with EFCC. So we don't know actually which one is it, but time will tell. But I think that everybody who is a political commentator who honestly want to judge what is going on in Nigeria, Tinubu and the APC, they are working on the platform of fear to lose 2027. Everything you see that is going on is about just know that the running of government has ended. The man is in a high mode for 2027. So there is no more government in Nigeria for now. It is about 2027. So they are in the fear mood. All this thing you see that they are doing is just they know that what is coming for them in 2027, as long as we are alive, is going to be bigger than them in 2027. We have always said here, I've always said that 2027 is between Nigeria and APC. And whatever rigging they want to apply in 2027, Nigerians are going to rig, they are going to rig higher than what they want to plan to rig. And every other person anybody who tried to rig, Nigerians will rig the person. This is what I think 2027 will be. So I'm not surprised what is going on, what the political play that is going on with APC right now. I'm not surprised. I am expecting more. Explosive things to happen. So it is what it is.
All right.
For Mr. Peter Obi, we all know what is going on. It's all about intimidation. But I think that Mr. Peter Obi is bigger than the intimidation of what they're trying to do. So I'm not worried about what happened. He's a man of due process. A lot of people A lot of people were saying since last week, hey, where is the obedient people? Why didn't they go out, go march, go demonstrate, go do this, go do that? Mr. Peter Obi is alone. He's a lone man. He doesn't. Where are the obedient people? Where are this? I don't know how people. This is not. It doesn't work like that. If you have gathered people to go to that place and begin to demonstrate and begin to do something, what will be the essence of that? You need to get the facts first. You need to know what actually happened. You need to. We are working with unknown name in the court, unknown people who came to pull down the house. Everybody is unknown. We have to first of all find the known before you know what they're going to do. So most of the people on internet space, Mr. Peter Obi is too weak. Where is the obedient people? By now, they think everybody should have gathered in Lagos. Everybody should have begun to show them that we this and that. Is it for what is going to be the game? The time for those things has not reached now. So I want the due process to follow. I've never got any other information concerning that. So I think. As time goes on, it will reveal itself which people who are behind it, if it's the government of Lagos State or an individual. So we have to wait and see. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Welcome, Mr. Paul. Yes, maybe you do your initial comment before I go back to Odi and then to Man of Prestige. Can we hear your initial thoughts?
Well, I think I listened what you guys were saying initially, and Nigeria just keeps disappointing me. When I see the other day some funny thing that I see online when somebody talk about 30 million and $5,000, that I see all this debate here and there. Some of my friends who are doing very well in Nigeria, they say that, this and that. I just laugh over it, and it makes me laugh. And I asked my friend, one of my friends, I said, how many companies will you even work before they will even pay you your retirement package of 30 million? Before you want to take your 30 million to compete with somebody who make $5,000 a month. That is the Nigeria for you. You can see the Peter Obi brothers property. It's just a laughing stock, like I said the other day. You must take an approval to demolish a building. You understand? So even though if a court even grant you order, you understand the city still need to look. There's another property on the side. There's another property. What are the hazard, the danger? What are the process these people went through, even when there's a court order? Because court can give order. You understand? But the city and the city code, I can't just stand up in my back house and go say I want to put a swimming pool in my back house. You and I know how much approval we need to get to put all that type of thing. Because the city even use it to do so many things, to generate revenue, to fight crime. When they want to fight crime, they say, oh, the person is in the house. They know the master plan of that house. They know everything about that house, how to go about it. Must we do politics with everything in our life? You understand? Must we do politics with everything? It's a laughing stock. How do you think people will do business? My brother, look, let me tell you. That's why oftentimes you see any multinationals that come to do business in Nigeria. What do you hear? You hear that, oh, it take MTN 25 years to make their money in Zimbabwe, but it take them 5 years to make their money in Nigeria. Because they know it's a volatile place. So they do everything possible to take advantage of the people to make their money as soon as possible. Because they never see a long time, because they know these people, our policy change like weather. You understand? And we cannot grow. So you cannot get the best to come. Jokingly, like you will say, go to places like other South Africa here. Some other country, you see McDonald's there. McDonald's can be in Nigeria with our population. As Nigeria, as we like life rich, as we like enjoyment rich. You understand? When Burger King want to, KFC came to Nigeria, all their chicken, they are buying it in Obasanjo's farm. Because it was during Obasanjo era, they approved. So the only way to buy chicken now is Obasanjo's farm. This is laughable. You understand? And so those businesses will never come there for us. You know, when you don't create an enabling environment for business to strive, it's just laughable. Then when I look at Yaya Bello, you know, if some people want to play our local politics again, they will laugh. They say, Akpabio built first class hospital, the wife go abroad. Akpabio built first class hospital, he had one small incident, not even accident. They flew into Germany. But he said he built world class hospital. Maybe world class hospital for Akwa Ibom, not world class hospital for the world. You understand? So this thing, they should just say state class hospital, not world class hospital. Because how do you build a world class hospital then you go somewhere else? You cannot do it.
That's why I went to a length to get that video. Because I saw that video. Why he built over 9 hospitals in Kogi State, specialist hospitals all around. And with your specialist hospital that has one of the, no other hospital in this world has that equipment except in Kogi State, you still want to go outside and have treatment. What kind of
I have my elder sister, one mother, one father, come to the US all the time. Like travel, US, Canada, UK, whatever. You see all these people who have money in Nigeria, when they come here, when they go back, just to go intimidate people, like they come to enjoy life here. My brother, all of us that have friends and family who come to America, come to the UK and go back, that they domicile in Nigeria, let us tell ourselves the truth. Morning, afternoon, night, now the same fufu, eba, rice they chop. None of them they eat this burger. You understand? But they can't do without coming. Then when they come here, even when you want to go spoil them with something different, they say, I beg. Don't come spoil my belly. I beg, go cook soup for me. Oh, I don't get this thing for us. These are the things. Nothing really changed. Like you want to explore, you want to do anything. But they can't do without not traveling. They're so used to it. They so program themselves like their children, their everything. They put everything here. They prioritize the West so much. You understand? Maybe because of the infrastructure. I don't know. Why don't you put those infrastructure there in Nigeria so that you can enjoy that thing? Because after all, when you come to the America, you still eat the eba, the fufu, the rice, the kaiko, the everything. You still eat the same thing.
Paul,
So what is this rush?
Give me 1 minute. Sometimes when we come here and we do say certain things, people like to, look, nobody on this panel is here for his own purpose. I mean, everybody can do it. We are not in Nigeria, by the way. So what I'm trying to say in this is that in America and other parts of the world, there's so much fun you can have on the weekend if you're not even working. You can just go out and have just variety of activities, some of them free of charge. And you even get drink from there, and people are already giving food. In fact, there are some places in my street, every weekend, if you want to eat free food, just drive, go there, and you see people giving people they don't know free. When we say some of these things, it's not because we're trying to play propaganda. And I'm not here to play propaganda by whoever is saying it. But let me go back and play this video so that we can just put this nonsense to a close.
You know, the other machines can actually utilize about 2,000 liters of helium, but this one just about 900.
During a conference call with the manufacturers of the Signal Prime MRI equipment, the makers confirmed that the MRI machine installed at the reference hospital, Kene, is the first of its kind to be installed in sub-Saharan Africa.
His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Adoza Bello has been very ambitious and very decisive in equipping this hospital. So when I told you that this is the best hospital in Nigeria, in Africa, most have not been to other parts of Africa, it could as well be the best in Africa, I was not mentioning words. This here is a Revolution Magma CT scan machine, 128 slides, top-notch, high-tech equipment, cutting-edge technology, betting here, just like the MRI machine.
From the radiography unit, we move to the game-changing oxygen production unit.
This is a plant that helps us to generate our own medical oxygen, and
Okay, so when we say that Yahaya Bello built a world-class hospital, please tell me where we're exaggerating. Is that not what the architect is saying there? You know what he's saying there? That this is one of the best in West Africa, in fact, in Africa and the world. You want me to play the whole video because the other place.
No. There's look. Don't.
When we
Those,
come here, nobody is here to
no, doesn't it make you sick? Please, my brother, stop playing that video. Really, like it's a shameful video. Really, and when I hear, you see, the journalist they brought is their hatchet man, BKO. If you watch, BKO is the hatchet man for APC and their propaganda. He's the one that predicted Fubara's removal before it happened. This is the same cartel. He claims to, I listen to BKO. He claims to know everything. Probably he does know everything. You have a CT scan machine, and then your hospital is not the best in the whole world. It's a joke. It's just an X-ray, right? You get an X-ray machine, and then let him go there now. Let the CT scan just fix his malaria. Even malaria, the CT scan can't treat. Look, why this many times I really want to talk about maybe other things, but since you brought it up, the EFCC that is asking him to go to Kogi State to be treated, have they arrested him? It's a joke. They're all in cahoots. It's the same APC people. They're playing it. Look, every week, I can tell you, they have media men. What do we give them this week? This is a joke. This is EFCC, who have President Tinubu or whoever he is, congratulated what's his name? The former Kogi State governor, Yaya Bello, on his birthday. This is a man that stole money that we should be arresting. If Yaya Bello wants to go abroad, he will go abroad. And he will finally, this one is just a distraction. He's a young guy. He doesn't really need to go abroad. I'm sure he doesn't have any serious medical issues. This is another bone that they are throwing us. And someone mentioned Fubara. What's his name? Righteous Man. And the way he talked about Fubara, like Nigerians we are all crying for Fubara. It's a joke. Fubara and Wike rigged the election in Rivers State. They are the same ilk. These are the same people. Trying to separate Fubara because some job boys that he gave money were jumping around. Fubara is our this. They started singing songs. They have different versions for Wike and Fubara. This was a soap opera for us to watch and enjoy. But it's not a serious thing. Really, Fubara is a thief like Wike. They stole together. Two criminals who went to steal. And then people are saying, oh, Fubara is our own because he's now opposing Tinubu. Let him go and do good for Rivers people. Let him go and build hospitals, build roads, lift people from poverty. Nobody will curse him. That Fubara is not going to be getting second term. Whose business? It's not. Will it change anything in the market? Please, I'm really. And meanwhile, there's this idea. I think somebody raised it that the North is plotting. So I think it's UKJ. The North is the worst hit in Nigeria. All their political machination has resulted to having the most poor place in the world, the most poor region in the world. Can we just start telling the North that they are the worst politicians currently in the world now? They have subjugated their people to so much poverty. Let's talk about it this way, because that's what's happening. They can't even go to their villages. They all live in Abuja. Their places, they have the worst maternal health, worst infant health, worst security, worst educational history. What's going on? All human indices that you use, the North is the worst. But when we talk about it, so, they have something they are plotting. They are plotting nothing. They are plotting to put their people in more poverty. My brother, let's talk about it and say the truth.
Okay, Thank you so much, Paul. You can conclude your take.
I think they just spoke my mind and every other thing. So it just kind of laughable when you see the Fubara thing. Where does people, where do we start doing things that we don't even put human face to things? You know, my father of blessed memory, some parable that my father gave, they make me laugh a lot. My father said, "Oh, when small pikin tell old man say they lie, now that pikin everybody could blame say they not train them well." You know, when a small boy laugh, smile when old man lie, now the old man will take your own mouth say, "This one catch me for this one." But when you look at Fubara, you just ask yourself, where is common sense in this thing? This thing that you are doing, where is common sense? How do you why do you bring yourself this low because of poverty that you've already solved? That young man will never go poor except if he's a gambler. He will never go poor. He has been stealing for God knows when. He is with Wike for a very long time. You understand? But these are the people who get scared like this and everything. But the bad part of it, it is the precedent that is creating that another person going to follow. You understand? My case will not be different. You understand? People going to follow that precedent from the place of Tinubu. People going to follow that precedent from the place of Fubara. People going to follow that precedent from the place of Wike. You understand? I know no concrete evidence and everything. When you look at Bukola Saraki and his own father, you understand, and everything, rumor even go around that the frustration that Bukola frustrates his father that makes the father died. You understand? The same thing with the Eyadima. Go look the story about the Eyadima. You're the same thing. When these people just love power, they want to do everything with power and everything, you're going to leave. I remember I was putting spirit here to grow beers and everything. Today is punishment for me to shave every day. Nature will definitely take its course.
I thought we were the only ones who did the spirit thing, but it's okay. Let's move on.
It will take its course.
My brother.
We look at our Nigerian players, those footballers and everything, in the 90s, in the 80s and everything. Look at them today with all the pot belly and everything. They can afford not to eat their good food. So I won't play ball. They want to eat well.
All right.
So nature will take us. You're going to hand over. Don't die in power. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Paul, they had a football match being organized by Ekong at the Maracana Stadium in Ajegule. Did you see that? The famous Maracana Stadium in Ajegule. They had a football last week.
No, I'm going to look it. I'll look it up.
All right.
That's a good one.
Let's move on. Let's move on because I have less than 1 hour. Okay, so my
wait a minute, KJ. I've not spoken on the. I only spoke about Ganjude now. I've not spoken on.
Okay, all right. I thought you probably.
No, I have not.
All right, go ahead and then we can speak.
Yeah, thank you very much. There's nothing I can say anymore. OD and Paul has properly stated when it comes to the hospital. This guy going to oversee. I mean, what we just saw, is propaganda to the highest level. I mean, very diabolic propaganda. That state of the art hospital. I mean, it's not where we are in Nigeria. I mean, you have all these coming to national TV and deceive us. Okay, if you build the state of the art hospital, why are you not going there? Why are you seeking your passport to go to overseas? If he is actually sick, according to the information we had, that he has a high blood pressure or whatever. I mean, high blood pressure, you can treat high blood pressure, in Nigeria, if that's the case. So let's have other illness, I mean, he may be ill. I mean, he's not up to 50. Or whatever you eat, or 40 something, but it doesn't even matter. You can be sick at any level. But what does that tell you? You needed to be, you needed, when you was a governor, you needed to build a hospital at least sustainable to, to a degree. But that's Nigeria for you. Like like Odi said, there's no need you bringing that. I mean, I'm not mad at you, but I'm just saying there's no need propaganda with that, that kind of narrative, about he built hospital. We know what that is. But anyway, let me go to the what we are talking about, Fubara. I mean. Some people say they feel sorry for Fubara. No, I don't feel sorry for Fubara. I feel sorry for the state of River people. That's the people I'm concerned about. It's not about Wike or Fubara. There's no difference between Fubara and Wike. After all, Fubara is a puppy. to Wike. We all know what transpired during the election. That man never campaigned. Did anybody see him campaign? No. Wike bought the phone for him. Wike campaigned for him. Wike is the one that put him there. And he was making noise the other day, like he doesn't feel like going back to the office of the government. Look at him right now. Did you all see him yesterday? He just act like it's very shameful man. He didn't even want to raise his head up. I said, what kind of human being is it? Like Rational Man stated, this is the condition they give him. You only have to run, for the first time. I think the first time is on May 2027. May 2nd, 2027. That's when, this time is. So he's not supposed to run anymore. This is the condition they are giving a grown man who's supposed to be an elected person. We know he was put there by Wike. So Wike almost got everything he won. And he has, he has to drop all impeachment and legal action. Secondly, Wike has to nominate all the 23 chairmen of the local government. So can anybody tell me who is ruling? And he has to restore the right of all Wike people. And lastly, what people have not taken, he can sign a check more than 100 million naira in the state. Can anybody tell me how does that make sense? You are the executive. That's by calling him a puppet. So he's not going to he's going to be like a lame dog. He's not going to do something there. And did you all know that Tinubu has appointed the INEC chairman from Cross River? He's going to be the INEC chairman in River State, somebody from another state. He's going to be, apart from the other guy, the administrator being there from Cross River. The INEC chairman in that state was just appointed, was it last week or whatever, and it was approved. Yeah, it was last week. I think it was deliberated in the House. But he's going to be in charge of the INEC chairman in River State, plus all these conditions. So, Fubarak, I don't feel sorry for him by no means. There's no difference between him and Wike. Wike pretty much got all he won, That's
okay.
That's in this place right now. So it's just a shame, okay? But this is Nigeria for you.
Thank you so much. And it's an advice I'll give to Nigerians, especially the politicians. Why do you want to go for a crucial meeting like that and you alone carried yourself there?
KJ, sorry, man of prestige, Yaya Bello just turned 50 on the 18th of this month.
Okay, he may be sick. I'm not saying, yeah.
He just turned 50. No, I just want to tell you his age.
No, somebody was saying
he turned 50 June 18th.
I mean, you can be sick, 40 or whatever. I don't know. I mean,
no, we are not saying he cannot. We're not saying he cannot be sick. We're saying since he spent so much money building a world-class hospital around his state, 9 of them for that matter, everywhere, so that the people can just be able to reach out to anywhere they want. They have, he too should use that opportunity. We know that eventually he will be given the clearance to move abroad, but at least if we begin to push back a little bit all the time, probably Nigerians will get the stamina to be able to stand and tell their leaders, no, this will not work. All right, having said that, I want to quickly move on to discuss the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the ruling that came from Kenya's court. Now, here's the takeaway or the high points of that ruling. The key points of that ruling is that an extraordinary rendition declared illegal. The High Court of Kenya ruled that the abduction and the forceful transfer or extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria in June 2021 was unlawful and unconstitutional and a gross violation of his fundamental human rights. Violation of rights. The court all found that Nnamdi Kanu, who lawfully entered Kenya, was abducted in Nairobi, held incommunicado for 8 good days, tortured, denied food, water, medication, and legal representation. This act were declared a breach of his rights under the Kenyan Constitution and international law. The government also was held to be complicit in this by the judge, Justice E.C. MWITA, held that the operation carried out without knowledge, complicity, and tactical approval of the Kenyan government and its security agencies, dismissing the official denial that they were not involved. In other words, simply saying that you guys were all in cahoots with the Nigerian government to do this. The court awarded Nnamdi Kanu 10 million Kenyan shillings, about 121.9 million naira, as a general damage for the rights violation and other and ordered the Kenyan Attorney General to pay the cost of this petition and interest. In other words, he should pay also the legal fees for this case. No criminal commitment in Kenya. The judge also affirmed that the Kanu committed no crime in Kenya, and there was no legal basis for his arrest, his detention, or removal. The court rejected the argument that he was a prohibited immigrant or a subject to deportation order. In other words, he was not found to have committed any breach of the law in Kenya, and consequently, also this, in other words, in summary, the Kenyan government is held liable and have been ordered to pay 121.9 million naira to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Gentlemen, with this judgment, how does this juxtapose what's going on in Nigeria? Since now that the court in Kenya have held that this is illegality upon illegality, and there's a term in the law that says you cannot place something on nothing. If the if Nnamdi Kanu presents this version or this ruling in Nigerian court, does it have any implication on his case? Yes, Odi.
Hi, thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak again. I think the Nigerian judiciary should be parallel to the Kenyan judiciary. Nnamdi Kanu's case has already been ruled. Our Supreme Court has already been ruled that you cannot put something on nothing, that he cannot be tried in Nigeria. It's just a joke that there's in America, there's something called double jeopardy, right? That's what he's suffering, essentially. You can't be essentially acquitted by a court and be picked up by a court of a lower jurisdiction or similar, power, right? And that's what's happening. What the Kenyan court is saying is what our Supreme Court has already said. It's just that this is a political case at this point. It just reminds me of what that fool, that is now doing coalition. What's his name? Attorney General. That one that felt, the cabal man, that felt he was bigger than life.
Malami.
And this is, you see all these people in Tinubu's government. Tomorrow they will be on the other side screaming. Malami is there now, crying like all of us. Malami went and made a broadcast in Hausa language. Is that, it's like when the night Obama killed or unalived, Bin Laden, and he came to make announcement to the American people. That's the enthusiasm. He came in Hausa, essentially addressing the North that they have captured their biggest enemy, not knowing that the person they are talking about as an enemy is the person that is redeeming their lives, trying to redeem them from the people oppressing them. But, human beings are fickle, especially, what happens over there. For me, I think if you understand at least contemporary politics or history, contemporary, and then history, you understand that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released. The handwriting is on the wall. I think whoever is making the deal has already made the deal. My concern is what he does when he's released. Because, no matter what anybody says, he has been essentially deified, right? By all his struggles. He has gone to prison. He's now like a real freedom fighter. So he's respected by his people. The question is, what is he going to use the freedom for? If you see somebody like Obasanjo, when he came out of prison, he did a lot of good things in Nigeria. Then he forgot and was trying to fight for third term and scattered almost everything he did. So what will Nnamdi Kanu do? There's no question. You can mark it down. Between this June and next June, Nnamdi Kanu will be free. There's no, even It may even be before December. There's no question about that. But what will he do when he's freed? And I don't think anybody's going to look at what happened in Kenya. His wife probably will collect the small money they are giving him in Kenya and maybe help their children and pay legal fees, or if it's whatever IPOP group that is filing the case. At least he's also saying that they did this guy injustice. Well, I hope when he comes out, he will remember all these things and make the right decision, so that we will not be talking about him again, like we are discussing all these other politicians. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ike, I don't know, but okay, let me not ask any question. Go ahead, Mr. Ike.
No, I think Odi said almost everything I want to say. Is I shouldn't be surprised, or I was not surprised that it has to happen, because there was no reason for rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. So I think it is justice. The justice is fair. That is one of the clearer news for us to know that this young man is being kept for nothing. So I'm one of the people who sincerely believe that he's going to come out. They're going to release him because they don't have any evidence against him now. It is all about politics. But I think they will get tired. But one thing I want to say here is that if Emiloko, the man from Bodilon, think that he want to use Nnamdi Kanu to play politics in the Southeast for 2027, he should forget it. He should forget that dream, because it's not going to work. If you like, let him release Nnamdi Kanu on the day of the election. He's not going to get 10% in the Southeast. So whatever he wants to do, we are watching. I've always said here, last time we talked about Nnamdi Kanu, I am more concerned about his health. As long as they are making sure that nothing happens to him, if they are allowing him to receive the necessary treatment that he needs to receive for himself, I know that eventually they're going to release him Sunday. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. And by the time he's released, I believe that those political leaders in the Southeast who has been playing on the gallery, time will tell what happened to all of them in 2027. I saw your brother Ojus Okale the other on a video where he's screaming about APC, that these people are sharing dollar, that the economy is bad. What are they doing? He's going to leave APC. He's going to fight against APC if they don't stop. The cry is not yet. He himself is a criminal also. The whole money of other state, he stole the whole money of other people. So is he a saint? No, it's not a saint. But you see, everything will come back to everybody. You know, I was just seeing online now your illegitimate president is in St. Lucia, one of the smallest islands very close to me in the Caribbean for vacation. You're going to be in St. Lucia and Brazil. Look at what we're St. Lucia is going to St. Lucia. St. Lucia St. Lucia is like a very big town in one of the states in Nigeria. That's where your president is going. They want to get the money they have taken. They want to go and bank into St. Lucia so that nobody will find out. From there, you go to Brazil. That's the country we have. Do you have a president, even in the midst of all the whole crisis going on in Nigeria, is going for vacation? He was in Lagos for how many days during the Salah? Was that not enough for him to rest? This is my brother. It is what it is, but I am believing that how many Nigerians that still remain in 2027 is going to be between them and Nigerians. So my prayer for Nnamdi Kanu that they continue to allow him to receive his medical treatment. That is my most concern. But if for his release, I'm very sure that he will be released. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Man of procedure, I'm going to ask you this question. What will be the potential impact of this Kenyan High Court ruling on the Nigerian judiciary? Do you see it putting pressure for them to do the right thing, or does it seem to, you know, some people will say, just like Nigerian politicians will say, nothing concerns them with outside of whatever the world thinks. This is Nigeria. They will do what they want to do.
Thank you very much. Well, Mr. Ike, I was gonna ask Mr. Ike. He's very close to you. I think Mr. Ike has been there. I think it was last month. I mean, some time ago, he said he was going there, but I haven't said that. I was wondering why Mr. Ike, didn't go and visit his president and enjoy with him, and and party with him. That would have been a good thing. Just to party with him, see him, yeah, the little chimpanzee. That's what I call him. But anyway. Having said that, it's a good question you asked me. So let's put this in context. On the 21st of June, 2021, that's when Nnamdi Kanu was, abducted, and rendition, which is my own opinion. A lot of legal scholars, even the Nigerian Supreme Court, has stated that it's unlawful and unconstitutional. The rendition, abduction of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Everybody knows it. The court has ruled. And now the Kenya government has ruled again and awarded him 120 million naira, I think it was 10 million shillings. So I didn't even know their currency is way not even close. How many times higher than better than Nigerian currency?
Yeah, it is.
You're comparing 10 million to 120 million. You see where we are? I mean, we are just the problem I have with Nigerians, and you say I shouldn't come here and criticize them. Even after I support the tax bill to a certain extent, we're going to talk about that. But we are just low in all ramifications. Anybody here can go and find out. Nigeria ranked at the lower bottom, and Democratic Republic of Congo in terms of electricity. Nigeria ranked at the bottom in the whole world, global ranking. Nigeria and Democratic Republic of Congo ranked at the bottom, and about 90% of the world has been electrified. Has electricity, 90-something%, I think 91 or 90%. But we don't have any, we rank at the bottom with Congo in the whole world, not just in Africa. So this is where we are. Nothing is working in Nigeria. We come here, we call ourselves giant of Africa. Maybe some people will do, some people will keep on praising the government, but I'm going to come here and criticize them every day until they start doing the right thing. I mean, they do the right thing, and we say, yeah, this is right. But their right is too little. It's not helping the Nigerian people. But anyway, going back to this question you asked me, what are the implications? In my own opinion, there has to be a lot of implications. For one, it's going to send a precedent in the ruling in Nigeria about the rendition, because that's exactly what Kenya has ruled, and everybody knows it. Secondly, it's going to amplify the human rights concern in that country, and international pressure and diplomat, because you have been ruling in Kenya and Nigeria has already ruled, and the place you abducted this man has ruled that everything you did, the rendition, abduction of Nnamdi Kanu was illegal. Yes, it's definitely going to have a lot of implications, But Nigerian judiciary, we know how they are, but I can't see why this will send a precedent when it comes to Nigeria. Let's just stick in Nigeria. I mean, because the lawyers will use this as a precedent, to do their closing. To do their closing argument. I don't think they have done that already, but
not yet.
They should use that. I mean, it's big. It's a big rule in my own opinion, regardless of how Nigeria doesn't have a judiciary. They don't function. I mean, everything is, they just take it how it is. But I believe it's going to have an effect, not just in Nigeria. It's going to be an international pressure, because in terms of human rights violation, really amplify it. So that's the way I see it. Even at all, and it's going to be probably potential for appeal or retrial later. That's what it's going to. That's how it's going to land. Definitely, it's a good ruling for him. That's why I see it.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution, Mr. Paul. You don't follow the thing now, so give us your own. Yeah.
You see, they say the day you start supporting APC, that's the day you start making all type of mistake. Not technical mistake, you start making blunders. Nnamdi Kanu has been winning in court. Everything, the way you detain this man, Yaya Bello, so many people who have cases, they just go there, they go do 1 week, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, they come back and they leave the remaining one in court. This one for 2 presidents and everything. They are making nonsense of themselves and to the international community. And I said this thing, that's how we will never get the right people to come do business in our country. When we keep ignoring that, then you talk to senior lawyers in Nigeria. When you see some of them talk, they'll say, I think this thing we should just talk to your Igbo people. Let them treat this case like a political case and every other thing. Let them treat. Come on. You see the way Trump is going and every other thing. He passed one type of executive bills. People will go to court. He will still follow. He will try to appeal. But first thing first, you will follow the court order first. If you want to appeal, it's your right to appeal. But follow the order. Nnamdi Kanu has been winning. There are so many things that Nnamdi Kanu may do that I don't support. You understand? But it's just hard for me now not to even support Nnamdi Kanu. Because for me not to support Nnamdi Kanu, it's making me look like an APC. You understand? It's like I'm eating my own vomit. I don't understand. These are the things that make Nigeria started applying for visa to the UK. Remember the story of the Umaru Diko? That's how it started. You understand? Same thing again. They keep doing all those things. I don't understand the type of people that we are. At a time, even Nigeria, that you don't even need visa to go to Ghana. Ghana deports 700 and something Nigerians. And every other thing. Why do we do things the very wrong way? Because somebody want to feel big. Somebody want to be big man. Somebody want them. If you punish Nnamdi Kanu tremendously, and you strongly believe that you're going to get vote there if you release him the next day. Even the Orji Kalu who is saying all this nonsense. You understand? When you see that crisis that happened in the north, some time ago where they buy some of our Igbo brothers in the north. The same thing happened in Aba. Orji Kalu called me, say our people with the northern, they have very good friends. This is the only state where you have more Igbo people, the highest state that you have more Igbo people who are Muslims. All these Okalu talk everything finished, but when he was leaving, he did like this, and they follow, and they follow. So these are the type of thing. We cannot be playing all this type of thing. Let the young man go. You understand? You're gonna win some, and you're gonna lose some. You understand? Play politics like sports. It's a sportsman game. I have a right to criticize, but not to mean evil. You understand? But this one, they just want to do everything possible to make sure that it's a power thing. Let us test our power, how far we can go with this power. And this power, you are creating precedent. And what pains me a lot, we can argue back in the days, certain things that happened, Kaduna Ezogu, we can argue some of those things back in the days. But this era where you can pull video, you can go online, you can get this document. Not like I'm waiting for the newspaper that my father keep under bed. We can get this information. And politicians still will not have common sense to understand that certain things you don't go. You are hurting that region. You understand? This is the 3 big majority ethnic group in the country. And 2 regions is doing that to 1 region. How do you want to help the country to grow? They are academia. They are business-like people. And then for that thing. What are you doing? Your best brain, you are playing with them. When I see Mr. James last week talk about it, say, oh, the Jewish people help America. In as much as I will argue that no, that's a lie. Truly, we have fantastic business people as a Jewish people. Truly, we have great academia as a Jewish people. You understand? I can't rule that part off. You have these people in the East. I argued the other day with the Anambra Animo. You understand? An average Anambra people, you see 4 of them. 3 that knows how to do business, they send them there. And those 3 will make sure that their brother that is well read, they push him to go read to the highest level. That's why when you want to find scholars again, they still come from Anambra State. You understand? Because when they spot one of their own, they take that person to the highest level. How we have all this type of people who are playing dirty politics. I don't know where we'll go with this. And the West is seeing us like that. And when they take us, no turning back. You understand? Go NASA, go see how many Nigerians there. Go anywhere, go see Nigerians that are doing well. When they take us, no turning back. We go nowhere. You understand? If we manage to go back to Nigeria, they say, go do giveaway and come back home. Here is your home. And we are abusing all these things. We cannot grow a nation like this. I just feel for the young man, and I hope and pray that let the good Lord just keep him and give him good health. Let nothing happen to him, because you are making him stronger. And the bad part of it's not about the man called Nnamdi Kanu. You are raising another monster that will not be as civil like Nnamdi Kanu. That is what they don't understand. When we see the story of Kensaro Miwa, Asari Dokubo come, other Ateke Tom, other people come, Tom Polo and the likes. You understand? If you bring one down, another one will see metaphors. Let's not be creating precedent of negativity. That is my thought.
Thank you so
Kenya,
much.
I mean, Kede, can you give me a minute? I need to ask, people who are knowledgeable, including you, Paul, anybody. I was listening to a platform. I think it was Precious TV. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He has appeared on Dr. Damage once last year. So he had a guest. His name is Kachi, Dr. Kachi
Ononuga. Yes.
Right. He made some statement that that I beginning to think twice. So I just want your take on what he said. Let's start with Atiku. He said with the so-called coalition going on right now, it's not going to work. His reason why, because Atiku still wants to be the president. That's the way he said. And Obi is not going to be a subsidy to him or any other person. It's up to right now, as he was talking last week. He said, people don't be deceived. It's not going to work because Atiku still want to be, all those not speculation. So, but the one that really caught my attention was the statement. Then he said before, he said Atiku, there was never Atiku that wanted to give the Southeast during the 2023 election, wanted to give it to Southeast. He said, no, that's not the case. Atiku wanted to be a president at that particular time. And what happened to Wike? He said Wike was more of a reaction, even when he went to Enugu to lobby, or Anambra State. He said Wike was more of a reaction. He said Atiku wants to be a president. Let's not deceive about that. Then the one that caught my attention, like I stated, KJ, he said the unknown gunmen, which has been ravaging the Southeast. I don't need there's truth to it. I have not heard much about unknown gunmen. I'm not saying there's no crime in the Southeast. He said the so-called unknown government was a sting operation perpetuated by Buhari. He said since Tinubu came in, not the first year, maybe about 6 months or 7 months after he came in, he has taken that budget away. He has taken that funding away. So that's where we're not hearing much about unknown government like it used to be before. So there's no funding. That means Buhari was funding the unknown government in the Southeast. So I just want to see what people, he said it. I mean, the man spoke a lot, and some of what he said makes sense. But I just want to see what your take about what he said about that.
Okay, I'm going to probably give each person just 1 minute because we are running out of time and we need to conclude. I listened to that interview.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm glad.
I listened to it and I totally agree with him because, but I've said it on this platform. People insulted me the day I said that. Okay, they said all kinds of things. Look, Buhari's hatred for the Southeast made Buhari campaign to stop when he saw the market in Onitsha. He refused because he thought that when they came during the war and burnt down the market, that it would never be built. So he was surprised at the development in the Southeast that made him weep and stop his campaign. But let's go away from that. What Mr. Cash said is totally the truth. He was just saying it, but we have also discussed some of those things here, bits and bits of it on this platform. Atiku was a bigger problem. Yeah, Wike is big because Wike is also part of the problem. But Atiku was the bigger problem because Atiku was the one who got the people to say it should not be zoned to the Southeast, to the East. If he had agreed as El-Rufai, this part is bad, El-Rufai said, no, let this thing to be zoned to the Southeast. That was a bigger problem. That was the first issue. That was the first thing that brought the problem. But when they refused, those guys moved away, okay, and still zoned to the South. Now, Atiku himself insisted that he will run, okay? Even right now, he's still insisting that he's going to run. So now Mr. Cash is already saying this is the same problem we had before. And this man constantly insisting he's going to be part of the, people running for the presidency is the bigger problem that brings confusion into the system. So that's the truth. Okay, I may not like, again, because he was one of those who supported Hope Uzodinma to come to government. So seeing what Hope Uzodinma have done now in Imo State leaves all of us, bewildered, because he's not done anything more than destroying.
No. My government is building a lot of road now. Let me tell you, he's building a lot of road.
But Imo State was better than when he came. It was a peaceful place you can go and just have a peaceful life.
Man of prestige, that your governor is still also my governor. What is he doing in Imo State? He's doing where is he? Osu local government, where he come from. Olu local government, where your governor comes from. What is happening in that region? What is he doing in Imo State? They are being deceived by because he Joe with it. You think what is he doing?
Okay. I said, I'm part of the Ngemanzi now. You don't know Ngemanzi of Owere.
So say let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. You see,
he was the person Buhari was using to fund what you are just talking about. He was the man that the president of Nigeria was using to fund the unknown government in eastern Nigeria. Was he not the man?
Yes. So let's move on. That is true. What he said there was true. Those who are political watchers of the East will have noticed that unknown gunmen no longer, they have now been known. We know that some of those men were Asari Dakubo's people who were causing issues. But let's move on to rounding up. Yes, the Nnamdi Kanu's issue. Maybe I'll take I'll do my own contribution when I'm through. Mr. Odi, you have 3 minutes to give us your final thoughts. And while he's doing that, I want to let the people know that Mr. Forefathers will be coming in 1 hour after we close. So he's going to take on the topics we're not able to touch, and there are many of them. I didn't want to go into the Trump issue because he will have enough time to discuss that. But the videos are there. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, the idea of the unknown government, I think that just was inserted into our brain now. Definitely there was government involvement, but you could say that's a multifactorial problem. I don't think the unknown government was just solely a government sting operation. This is my opinion. I'm not in government. There was already some type of insurgency by the then IPOB, right? Which had some involvement in some things. And that probably gave them the mask to bring in some government people. So 2 parties were fighting already, right? We know, everybody remembers the story of Ikonso, right? Those guys were already fighting around Uguta and all these areas, right? If you remember the jailbreak that happened in the prisons in Okigwe Road in Owerri, that's where many of these criminals came out that are still disturbing Imo State. That's where they came from, that jailbreak. After that jailbreak, Imo State has never been the same. Now, we know that Hope needed a political machinery to be able to control government because he had no popularity. So Hope, of course, had a hand. Did Buhari now fund whatever Hope? I think Hope could have easily funded what was going on in his own part. We know names already. So, but what I don't really, the idea to exonerate the Biafran, movement in everything that happened should not be done. And that's writing history. We know there was some sort of idea to resist the government of Nigeria. People killed policemen or unalive policemen and took their guns. People raided police stations. And those people made broadcasts on radios and this social media. We heard it. Yes, was it just whatever their problems were? Yeah, people like Ikpa, he was bragging about unaliving people. So his people are there also. He came to this show. He was threatening people. Is it because you're alive? Just before he was arrested. They are all involved. There are many people involved in what is going on in the Southeast. Has it improved? Obviously, but it's still there. There are still some of these animals there. So, yeah, is it possible that Buhari, but because we're creating a myth of some FBI movement, this was even what's his name, Ugochinyere. who should know more about what happened with this more than many of us, came out and said, I know what's going on here. These people came to unalive me. This is what happened. This is Hope's people. He identified them. So it's like many people coming, so it's Fulani people doing something in the East. No. The people come out and we know, of course, there are Fulanis also doing their own part.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Ike, you have 3 minutes.
Paul
is to you, Paul.
No, I want to use my 3 minutes to talk about Fubara, because the other time, Precious Man was saying that he betrayed millions of Nigeria. I don't know who Fubara betrayed. People were not fighting for Fubara. People were fighting for legitimacy of democracy. He didn't win an election. He didn't contest election. He was put in there. He and his master joined hands together to rig an election in Rivers State. Nobody has any sympathy for Fubara. What everybody was fighting was based on democracy. We want democracy to thrive in Nigeria. Even though we know how he came in to become governor, but let him do his job. So if anybody is thinking that Fubara has the liver or the lily to fight the some week, you'll be making a great mistake. So now he has used his hand and tied his 2 hands at his own back. So that is that as he has tied his 2 hands at his back, they will push him to the well, and the only breeze they will blow on his head, he will fall into the well. They don't need to push him. They will only use mouth and blow breeze on his head. He will fall with his back inside the well, because this is how it's going to be. The only thing I think I'm going to pick up from what is going on, I believe that at the end of the day, the man from Bodilon is going to turn at the back of Mr. Wike and use Fubara to fight Wike. This is my own political calculation, because the man at Bodilon know that guy of Wike is a very dangerous man. So I think by eventually that now that they're trying to settle them, if eventually they come together, he is going to turn around and is going to use Fubara against Mr. Wike later. I hope that I'm proving wrong, but this is my thinking, So this is what I think. So anybody who is saying about democracy, about who is Fubara? Fubara, does he have any liver to talk about democracy? How much money has he stolen? He was the accountant general before of Rivers State.
Thank you so much.
Was it accountant general? Was he what before? He stole so much money. So he's thief meet thief. So I don't have any sympathy for him. Only people are sympathy for people of Rivers State.
You finish your term, we need to move. Thank you. Man of prestige.
What is that, a final submission on what we talk?
Yes, final submission, because forefather is coming in.
Okay. So analysis about what's going on. We haven't really seen any progressive. There's some progress that was made. In my own opinion, it has pretty much plateaued. What are the good and the bad they have done already is pretty much plateau. We are not going anywhere. I don't see any kind of improvement, because the next 1.5 years is going to be using for campaign, and next election is coming 2027. So nothing is going to be done. It's all about campaign, or playing the Game of Thrones. What am I going to do? But it's not for Nigeria. I mean, it's for the detrimental of Nigeria. So there's nothing really good news coming from Nigeria. All this shenanigans going on in Rivers State or something like that. I mean, what is the implication? They are teaching the next generation that corruption, use up of the constitution is right. That's the implication. People are not really paying attention about the implication, regardless. Say APC, is going to come back, but what transpired in Rivers State got to show that you can be a godfather, man. You can get your way. That's what Wike is doing. So, I don't know. I don't have much to say when it comes to Nigerian space, okay? But if there's any particular topic, I can only argue about it. But Nigeria is not. I would consider it. Will I say a falling state? Maybe, maybe not. Close. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man of prestige. Yes, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, I just think the thing that Tinubu is trying to do and everything, they are trying to work on good arguments to prove their rigging come 2027. What do I mean by that? To be a president in Nigeria, you must win either of these three states. You must take two. You either win Lagos, Rivers, or Lagos, Kanu, or Kanu, Rivers, and everything. So he's doing that thing. You know, definitely he's going to take Lagos come this time around. You understand? Is rigging strategy. I'm not talking about the voting for the people to vote. Then another thing again, understanding the coalition, the way the Northerners are also happy, the KKK states. So
Mr.
most
Paul,
likely,
sorry to cut you in. Do you want to put your money about Lagos? Is it what he got in 2023? We are going to beat him. We are going to beat him hands down in Lagos.
Sir, I said it's rigging strategy for good argument. I don't say winning strategy. Rigging strategy for good argument, not winning strategy.
We're closing. We're no longer.
Yeah. Then the KKK states, you understand, when you look the KKK state, they already betrayed Buhari. So most likely they are not getting anything from Katsina. The remaining two, Kanu and Kaduna, and everything, you see the love that they're showing in Kaduna. They tried everything to lobby Kwankwaso come his own camp and everything. If Kwankwaso can come his own camp, necessarily not like he will win, but they will use it if they forcefully rig those states and argue that, oh, we take all those states. That's why he's lobbying for more governors so that they can argue and give people like us who don't have work things to argue about when they rig the election come 2027. Tinubu is not popular. The people are really, really, truly suffering. It's not popular. You understand? If you're popular with what you achieve to the country. He's not popular in terms of achievement. You understand? Things are getting bad. Yeah, I will tell you these days, the people who beg me money more are working class people, not people that you say they are. No, we're talking about people are the people who beg money because what they earn as a salary is not enough for them to foot their bills and everything. So things are hard with all this strategy, subsidy gone. You understand? You lift this thing. Things are tough. So Tinubu is not popular. So he knows that very well. So he's only putting all his rigging strategy down so that he will use his media men to come argue when they rig the election. That's my take for now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. I'd like to start by thanking Paul for being able to join us, spending your time. Time is a lot of money, except you live in America or the Western world, you don't know what time is. You know, so when we see you guys come here with your time, your treasure, which is your data, and then your intellectual ability, which is your brain power, we really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. Odi, thank you for being here also. We'll love to see more of you and have your thoughts on issues. Thank you, Mr. Ike. Ike has been very, every time we see you, we have confidence that at least we have somebody who will bring in, an understanding to the topics we are having. Mr. Man of Prestige, you are welcome. We thank you for your contribution, all your contributions. Then even those, this guy was earlier on here, show was very, very, very apt on the discussion and also the righteous man. I also want to thank Tokpe. Thank you for blessing us and allowing us to have, tea to drink while this program is going on. Like you said on your post, June is ending with praise. Hallelujah. We thank you for that. We appreciate your contribution and your support. Thank you also, my Igbo Basics. Igbo Basics, you've been very nice to us. Thank you for your support. Thank you again. As we say goodbye, but
so
goodbye
is forefather coming up next about 3 o'clock?
Yes,
or 4?
It's coming in. I don't think it's 3 o'clock. There was a mistake on our ad. That's why this program came up earlier. It was supposed to be 1 o'clock, but it came up by 12. So forefather is going to revert to the original time, which is 4 o'clock.
At 4 p.m.
Yes, 4 p.m.
Oh, okay. Let me go do something to come back. Thank you, KJK, for moderating. You've been great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Extend my greeting to Dr. Damage if you talk to
I
me.
will. I speak to him. I will. Thank you so much. All right. That will be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed the show and think about those ideas we've been able to canvass today. They may not necessarily fit into your own narrative, but they are good for us to be a point of discussion, a point to start with. We may not all the time come up with the same idea, we may not even agree, but as long as we keep talking about it, we'll definitely find a way forward. On the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, I still stand by what the international community and every other good thinking person stands for, that seeking for actualization or realizing a separate state for your country or your people is not a crime, and consequently cannot be treated like a crime. And the Kenyan courts have gone ahead to prove the fact that this man was lawfully in Kenya and have committed no crime. Whilst we want to agree that maybe we do not all accept his approach, from hindsight, now we know that all he said, speaking about since 2012 till today, have all come to be truth. I wonder what you say about that, if you don't still think that what he was saying is true. And the latest was even the one he called the states and what was going to happen. So for me, if you may, I would say go back and listen to Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, and you will see that majority of what he said, even Tinubu becoming president, he said so. So I don't know how else then you can give credit to the person who can speak all that since 2015, 2014, and you now say that person should be locked up. He has already spent 5 years in solitary confinement, and apart from that, he has taken 10 years out of his life dealing with these issues. And I think that for the law to be, for it to be applied evenly, Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be set free unconditionally. And that's where I stand. Unconditional release. We cannot be more Catholic than the Pope. So, having said that, I will also go ahead to say we want to also appreciate the US for being able to bring some form of peace in Rwanda and in DRC Congo. Whether I like it or not, may not be the best approach, but for now, that will stop the carnage going on with human life. We may not like the intervention, but that will stop for now. In future, we can renegotiate, but let us find peace first for our people. And then we can go from there to build on what has been found. On the coalition of the members of the opposition parties in Nigeria, it's not the first time it is happening. But I don't know if this will bring the desired result. Because just reassembling a group of thieves in another different formation with different name and uniform doesn't make them necessarily the answer to the question. What makes an answer to the question is when the people decide by themselves, majority of the people decide that it is time for a change. That change will be grand, it will take effect, and it will be holistic. We are looking for a holistic approach to bringing about change in Nigeria that will affect the ordinary people. And what I want to borrow from what Odi said, it is time for us to begin to tell the North that you may think your leaders are political game changers. They are well versed in political maneuvering. What has that maneuvering brought to you as a region? Has it brought development? Has it brought peace? Has it brought, anything that is beyond poverty? The answer is no. And we speak holistically here, not because we are singling the North out to criticize, but we're saying that whatever they've been doing since 1960 to today have not brought any form of development in the North. Consequently, I think it's time for all of us to take a look again at the strategies that are being used to continuously to perpetuate people in poverty. And of course, the high-handedness of the destruction of Peter Obi's brother's house in Lagos leaves much to be desired. I think that any government who wants to show its power should show it by giving good life to its people, not bringing problems, causing more chaos in a state where people are already suffering from all kinds of. Those people who that company that was demolished, those people now have been rendered to have no job because nobody is going to pay you for not going to work. So we should consider some of these things fully before taking an action that will continuously to perpetuate our people in suffering. Having said that, we want to thank all of you who have taken your time to be on this program. We know it is your time and your treasure you are sharing with us, and we want to appreciate that. We are only asking that let us always converge and have a discussion. You may not agree all the time, but we can always continuously to converge. Having that discussion will help us make a headway. I appreciate all of you, and we thank you for joining. Please remember that Forefather will be here by 4 o'clock, and the women's segment will kick off after Forefather's show. So we have much more entertainment ahead of us all. Let us join and bring also that to a good close. There's always something good happening here. On that faithful note, I want to say thank you. Please, if you don't mind, subscribe to this channel. Dr. Damages will need to get up to 100,000 before the end of this month. Let's push it there. Let's take it there. Let's make sure that we are not just, we are putting our money where our mouth is. Thank you so much.
Jelu ekweje gwanu mi femgeme Omo abatanu gwanu mi femgeme Ejimgugwo ekwe mbadike ekwe mbadike ekwe anokwa mbeme ijelobia iwe bụ akpa ego ebia iwe dokwasị m n'ụkwụ iwe na yom weju iwe na-ebe akwa ị na-ebe akwa onye na-eti gị ekwe mgbadike ekwe onye ibe m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya onye ibe m na-ewe iwe nya biko wee gbuo ya ọsụkọsụ nwamkpi nya biko sugbuo ya selense